She's invisible! He still gets her! They're all dead! It's just Tierney left! They must get it now! Hit the buildings! Hit the buildings!
Across central and eastern parts of England, we're seeing temperatures in the mid to high 30s, extremely high values.
What was once regarded as sort of once in a generation incidents are now becoming much more regular.
THTD with the victory. TH4D rather.
Welcome to the Goonternational.
Aegis reclaimed and a three-man black hole.
Oh my god, they're going in. That's a big charge! What? Oh my god, they're all ulted! Flamity bomb!
Viper destroyed Hurricane Pipe Retreat.
But it's predominantly enough big when you're still stood in the magnifier.
Oh, he's got in the fountain.
Could be dead here. Here comes the stun from line, he just not stunned.
Oh, the dodge from Jay!
They should get the Tiny here and at least burn the Aegis of the Immortal, but Sleepy Moon comes in to try to clean up the backlines. It's a Maledict onto Sleepy Moon, Tiny goes down, it's a lot of damage from the Deathborn! They have no damage left, the Poison Nova goes out from the Venom as well as the Maledict. It's a lot of damage, and Deathborn is back up again! They get the kill on the Wraith King! The throne is still alive!
White Dota is just
frozen.
Yep.
Well, I mean, on my notes here, he is listed as a coward.
He kicked his PC and attacked us.
Doesn't know what he's doing.
So fucked.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl. But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction, Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girl
Tonight on Top Goon, where Banana has a face.
I was always told that I have a face.
Supes is worried.
We're so fucked.
GDoe expresses enthusiasm.
I'm the resident spreadsheet enthusiast, so I'm organising the tourney this year.
And I enjoy a glass of wine. Mmm, that's delicious. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Top Goon. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top Goon. I'm joined tonight by Where Banana. Yeah, sporting a glorious mustache, I must say. Is this a permanent fixture on your face, or?
Yeah. Well, it's been a fixture for, say, March 2 years ago, but
I'm not gonna lie, you did join the call, and I haven't actually seen your face before, but I did think that you were doing fucking great for the start of Movember, like 3 days in, and already got all that glory.
No, it's it's a long time coming, but yeah.
Long bit of work. Right, well, tonight, folks, we've got a great show for you lined up. We have got special guest GDoe will be joining us later. Before that, Dr. Jonas will be coming in to discuss all the group standings and how the stage has gone so far. A glorious exhibition match between two rivals. A rivalry which I may have made up in my head, but I've now manifested and made real because I've pitted them against each other and they're very hyped up. That's going to be Supes versus Bird coming to you at 5:30. I think 5:30. We're also going to have some clips that have been sent in by all the goons in the Discord. And what else have we got? Special appearance from Ninjasnowman to discuss how the top teams are running things. And a bunch of other stuff that I've probably forgotten, but will definitely be coming.
I can't wait. We're going to have so much fun. What better way to kill 2 and 3/4 hours of a Sunday afternoon?
What else could we be doing? I mean, cooking a roast. Could really go for a roast right now, actually. But
my HelloFresh is getting here in any time in the next 57 minutes, apparently. So,
oh God, I didn't realize we had sponsors.
I know. If you're listening.
I mean, my sponsor today is just wine, I guess, you know. I was told I had to live up to a Clarkson impression, and Clarkson drinks a lot of wine, to my knowledge, so I thought wine would be the beverage of choice.
I suppose I could grab a cider or something. Maybe a nice glass of red, but
we could pit ourselves against each other, red versus white. What? You snacking on something there?
Oh yeah. I got some Max's chili and lime peanuts.
Oh.
Yeah, they're lovely.
You lifted up that bowl, and I had absolutely no clue what I was looking at. I thought it was just some weird, wacky cereal, to be honest.
To be honest, it could be cereal. It could be the intestines of all the fallen victims of LOL Cubed. You know,
you looking to add more victims to that tonight? You got a game tonight, don't you?
Oh, fucking hell, I know. Sunday night, best of 3. If it's not a 2-0, then I'm going to be tearing my hair out.
Oh, I mean, I know we're supposed to be talking about the group stage, but best of 3s, it sounds great in principle, but when you actually play a best of 3, to all of you who haven't yet, it is hell. You guys were on a marathon last night, weren't you? Yeah, I mean, poor Squelchy, like a 4.5 hour stream for it.
Honestly, we had a best of 3 proposed to us for a tiebreaker of all things. And we went, no way, absolutely not.
I did propose after, so we won game 1, we lost game 2, and I said, guys, instead of doing a third game of 4, can I just take on one of you at Connect 4 and it just be done? We'll finish it here in 5 minutes, and that'll be it solved. But the offer was not taken. And already see we've got some bird stands in the chat. I'm hoping the soup stands show up too. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to become the biggest hardcore soup stand that there is. It's like the Force. We must find balance. So
I've yet to find a bird hater. So maybe somewhere, if a bird hater exists, then balance can be found. Otherwise, we might be teetering towards our very own rise of the empire.
What, Supes? I mean, Supes' profile picture, I believe it is the Emperor, so I mean, it's all going to come back to bite us in the ass on
laid
this
out.
one.
We were just too slow to see it.
Well, I mean, how have you enjoyed the group stage then? I was going to say so far, but group stage is over. It feels like it's all gone so fast in the end, really.
Honestly, God, it's been a joy. And it's, I was trawling through stats yesterday. I had a run-in with the strats API. Me and Kieran the Wise tried to get our heads around it, but it's just code is no more a friend to me than I don't know, a vegan is to a steak. But
I think vegans are friends to steaks, aren't they? Isn't that how that works?
A steak after it's been cooked. Then,
Okay.
Post flame. It's been bloody brilliant. It's been amazing to kind of watch everyone play. It's been, as someone that played in the first GTI, the kind of standard that's been shown off in this tournament so far has been night and day. Like someone was saying that the kind of Goon Dotes moments are sort of getting rarer and rarer, and they really are. But obviously they're still there, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
I mean, we've had a few deaths to tormentors. We've had some questionable initiations and deaths and all of that good stuff. I think the Goons are still in there. I definitely think the sort of rise in MMR cap this year, sort of capping at Ancient 5, the average, obviously still an average, needed to be met. But there's definitely some good players this year.
Oh yeah, I had some scary players as well. I mean, the top kind of the top 10. We'll look at it when I talk us through the stats in a bit. But there's some scary beasts out there. Absolutely.
I will address the studio. Don't expect huge production value today, guys. It all went on the music budget. That's where all the money went. We're in the same studio that we're in for all the casts. It's my lovely living room here. I don't mean this room that I'm in. I mean this room that we're both in. Or we're not technically in it. I think I had to explain this to someone the other week, that your position as the viewer is a lovely spot on the sofa. So we couldn't spring for an extra TV. The budget's gone. So as guests arrive, Banana will be getting sort of squashed down into a smaller section. So that's just the way it is. We could use the big TV in the middle, but I think we're going to need that for our presentations. And if anybody takes issue with any of the decor or the lack of it, then there'll be a contact email for you at the end of the show. I've been called out for having no bad lads merch around.
You can direct your complaints to badlads@gmail.com. I think they'll be quite happy to hear and to listen, to maybe take on board. Not sure.
Well,
as long as it's not us.
Now that I've got you here, actually, I can question you on this. When are the LLL cubes coming out? When's the merch dropping?
LLL cubes. Oh,
I grabbed this because you had it as a logo, and it's on the table there, and I think it looks great. I want one, like a stress ball or something.
You've got a world exclusive. I mean, it's the product of about 5 minutes of me tinkering with Paint 3D.
I mean, Paint 3D is a beast unto itself. That is a brave thing to do, to actually attempt to make anything in Paint 3D.
Well, you've got probably the only thing that's ever been successfully produced in Paint 3D sitting in your bench right there.
I think the 2 bits of merch I would really like to see coming out of the Goons is some LLL cubes, as I've already said, and a spherical plushie. I think it would be adorable.
The spherical plushie is a fantastic idea.
Set down there below you, but yeah, I'd love a spherical plushie. So when the franchise rights really take off, we're gonna have to get on that.
Absolutely. I mean the LLL cubes. I'll get in touch. I'll see if I can get those sorted out. Sell them as part of the charity drive.
Yeah, that'd be good. That's what should happen. Should be all profits go to charity. Sell a bunch of merch. I don't know what we'd have from other teams. You could get a Too Hot for Dota, either a thermometer. I mean, some Too Hot for Dota oven gloves would be good. Too hot for Dota, too hot for picking up.
Or one of those turkey thermometers that you put in.
Just a nice meat thermometer from Too Hot for Dota. It connects to your phone, and it has an alert that comes up saying "Too hot for Dota, but hot enough to be safe to eat."
Breaking Bats could sell some bread rolls.
Yeah, the Breaking Bad sandwich van on tour. I'm not sure I trust the health rate, the health and safety rating on that one. I mean,
they sell cobs out the front and something else out the back.
I think if my own team, if Halo 3 soundtrack produced anything, I think we get sued. So
yeah, you got no hope.
Keep that one as it is. Hats from Wogan's Wizards.
Oh yeah, little wizard hats. They'd be lovely.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
OGs, what could they do?
Oh, I don't know. I've got the banner up there. I feel like something. It's definitely something floral. Maybe like a floral wreath. I don't know, an OG's floral wreath.
Like a one of those things the Hawaiians wear around their neck.
Oh, what was the thought I just had? I just thought of something else. Oh crap! Oh, that was what I wanted to say.
Who's this mysterious
I feel like we possibly should have. Hang on, I'm just going to move this so it doesn't block you out every time somebody follows.
I was going to say, Rick's just jumped on my face.
I'll move that down. Oh, they're all flooding in. We'll let the followers flood in for a second, and then we'll get back on track. I feel like we should have done it as a full segment, but it's too late now. Best banners in the tournament. Just while we're talking about OG's banners, so we played against Spherical last night, and my God, their banners are something to behold. They are beautiful.
There are some teams that have put an awful lot of effort. Yeah, I mean, ours was very lovingly produced by Kieran the Wise, and it's a picture of Pudge in the style of God, what's the name? I think it's Charlie XCX, the one that made the Bratz album. Is in the style of her album cover, which is where our colours and everything come from. It's inspired by that. It's from a little bit of a niche bit of LLL lore.
Ours is just the glorious Marty O'Donnell on a heart-shaped banner. If you don't know Marty O'Donnell, he's on the desk down there. Got to work out where to point.
There he is. Yeah, it's that lovely face.
I mean, Spherical, not only have they got a lovely actual sort of like material pattern on the banner, it's got a lovely border. It looks a little 3D. But their like floor logo in the game, they've put a mosaic effect on it, so it looks like a Roman tile mosaic on the floor.
Oh my God.
It's insane. I never realized.
I mean, they have got some pretty talented artists. That their announcement video was beautiful,
also something really good. Yeah. I mean, if we have a break at any point, if anybody missed it, I do have a bunch of. Well, I think I have all the trailers that I'm aware of playing in on my intermission screen at the moment. So, but definitely check those out. But yeah, I mean, I put mine together for my team, and it's an absolute fucking state. Our announcement video.
All credits to Kieran the Wise for producing essentially all of the media that's come out of LLL Cube. I've got no talent when it comes to photo or video or audio editing.
I think definitely next year as a team captain, I'd have to take up some tips from the other teams in getting a full sort of production team behind it. You know, you need the team support. I've got 5 players. That's all we've got this year. We've got no coach. We've got no production team. Some teams have got PR and questionable legal support.
Honestly, I mean, all going to plan, next year GTI will have franchised and we'll have the draft to worry about. So there'll be a whole lot more going on next year if me and Swan have our way.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's been a lot of discussion about going to a full franchising and NFL style draft for the teams.
I think that'd be fantastic. I think there's so much scope for content and shenanigans.
Yeah, I know Amos has discussed sort of some ideas that he really wants to go ham on the content front in the future, but God, the organization that's required. I feel like already this year there's a lot of organization.
We'll have to start like 2 months in advance so people have time to pre-season with their team, and then
The problem then we're going to have, though, is some teams are going to get so much practice in. Although I guess if it's a draft perspective, then they've got to get the players they want, don't they?
Well, I was thinking about this, and there might be a couple of guys that go to a team that maybe they wouldn't have chosen kind of organically. But realistically, if you have like one person drafting for either 5 or 4 players, depending if it's the captain or the coach that drafts, it's going to be a group of friends anyway. Like, there wasn't much competition for players, I don't think, this time going into the tournament. And
I mean, I think there's enough spare players. You could have made another team if you really wanted to. So
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%.
I mean, if you were drafting on behalf of your team, so if you wanted to play, but you were also the drafter, or I guess the coach or the manager in this scenario, does that mean you have to make sure you draft yourself? Like, do you have to draft yourself first? Otherwise, you're possibly going to lose yourself to another team, and then you're going to have to draft a team that you manage, but you're playing for someone else. Trapped in a contract that you can't get out of.
You have to buy yourself out. 3 Krispy Kremes and a packet of crisps, and I'll leave.
But I guess speaking of teams, shall we have a look at what teams we had this year in the group stage and how they've all gotten on? And I think to do this, we're gonna have to. I mean, I'm in Group 3. I've cast a lot of the Group 4 games. I think I'm actually the only person. GDoe sent me the stats the other day because I asked for them. I'm the only person who's got sort of like a large investment into one group after the group stage. I cast 4 Group 4 games. I think we've only had the most of like 2 or 3 in every other group from people. So
yeah, I've cast 3. I think they're all from the same group as well. I'm not sure.
I went into this with the idea of just like, oh, I'll pick up a couple of games, and just accidentally ended up picking up a bunch of Group 4 games for very little reason, to be honest. And just sort of accidentally fallen in love with the teams in Group 4. I'm a big Group 4 stan now. What can I say? Gonna be rooting for them all to get through to the end, it seems. But to balance us out, why don't we? I think we're going to welcome in Dr. Jonas to the stream, who's hopefully going to have some insight, being the official caster, I believe, and also manager. I don't know if there's a bit of a
manager, PR man, legal representation.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a bit of a clash of interests there. Dr. Jonas, how you doing?
Hello, good afternoon to both of you and to the beautiful audience here.
Hello, hello.
Oh no, can I hide myself?
I would ask how you're doing on this fine Sunday afternoon, but I suppose for you it's going to be Sunday, like what, morning?
It's Sunday afternoon, actually. It's we're beyond 1 p.m. now. It's 1:17 in the afternoon.
Oh my god. I thought Argentina was much further behind.
No, but thanks to us not following daylight saving.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, well, we would have been closer really if we did summer, because we'd be like 2 hours.
Oh yeah, of course, because you jumped that way and we jumped that way.
That happened a long time ago. I was alive to feel the effects of that. When I had to just shift that, it was complicated. When all of a sudden you had to talk to people in Europe, and they would be like only 2 hours or 3 hours ahead of you, and all of a sudden you had to talk to anyone in the US West Coast, and it was a true complication.
I mean, we had games getting scheduled the weekend that the clocks changed and stuff, or they were scheduled a couple of weeks in advance, then the clocks would change for the UK, and I have to say I was wondering whether it was going to trip up any of the European players.
Indeed, yeah, that was actually a concern, because I don't only have players in the UK, but I also have one of them that is playing from the European continent. Fortunately, take it all together in changing from summer to winter time, so it wasn't that bad.
All worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Right, shall we take a look at some group standings then, and then we can sort of talk about what games we've seen, what games we've enjoyed, teams that have done better or worse, or just anything we like, I suppose. So, starting with Group 1, I guess, Jonas, you've got the real insight on this one. Stezzy's really running away with it, and Granny's having a very troubling time with sort of a mix in the middle.
I think they got saved by the circumstances of the tournament. Poor Granny's cookies. We're actually very fond of that team. They were great guys. But in the end, Stezzy's proved to be pretty solid, unlike actual Team Solid, but we are performing in a spectacular way. Let me tell you, it's been amazing what the monkeys have done so far. We won tremendously every single time. Maybe a bit of complication with the shitters, I must admit, but it wasn't that bad.
Is that your one loss on Minecraft? Was that to shitters? I presume. Well, it has to be, doesn't it?
I wouldn't want to call it a loss. I want to call it a challenge.
I don't know. I'm seeing it on the board here as a loss.
Yeah, possibly.
Just speaking in facts.
Difference of opinion for sure.
Stessy's is for me the kind of dark horse of the tournament. I think they kind of there didn't seem like much expectation of them going in. Like looking at Squelching's sort of prediction sheets, they've done fantastically. They've dispatched, difficultly or not, any team that they've come up against, and they're coming out of it. Granted, having played 2 more games than any other team in a tournament, but they're 8-0. They've coasted their way through the group stages.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say they've dominated the group stages, to be honest. I mean, the really interesting thing coming out of the group stage now is going to be obviously the mixing of all the teams in the different groups. Have Stezzy's had an easier group, or are they actually going to be a really good team?
I think statistically, all the groups are the same, right? The MMR average is relatively similar, I think, across all 4 groups.
It is. It's very close. It was posted the other day, but I definitely think there is some disparity in the difficulty of the groups.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think the play styles differ as well. Like you kind of some teams play better into other teams, and like vice versa. And Stessy's, I mean, we LLL Cubed played a scrim against Stessy's just before the tournament started, and we won that one. But they seem to have come on leaps and bounds in the duration of the tournament, and you know we've how far we've come is debatable. We're kind of just barely meeting everyone's expectations of us at the minute.
I wouldn't want to be too accommodating on what happened with our match with Stasis. I think we really got it easier for them. Our draft was pretty experimental for the first game. I mean, we chose Weaver, and then we knew that this was more to gauge what they were capable of than it was about winning. I think we got a good picture of what we can find at a later stage, especially because I think they set themselves up with their selection for the seeding match right now. I wouldn't want to go forward with discussing what's going to happen with the upper bracket, but I believe that we could have done much better if we weren't that willing to experiment. I mean, we are working with Blitz. This is no secret anymore. He's our chief strategist. Together with T here, coach. They make an excellent team, and they decided that we secured our place. We ended up being second place in the group, and we ended up playing against the 4th one. So everything came along as we expected, as you can see.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel that Stezzy's were your hardest team to play for Mancath there, or because there's a couple of draws in there for you guys? A win against Cookies, like as in a full win of a 2-0. But yeah, was it a bad week? Did they play especially well, or do you think there's actually a lot of balance in those top 4 teams in Group 1?
I think there was more of a balance than others would like to admit. I think Sit Out was fairly strong, but we know that they can get tilted somehow. At least that's what we've seen and we've faced. That was a great victory for us, 1-1. We are tremendously pleased with our performance in that match, and same thing with Team Spherical. Guys we love, but we actually won by a lot, again, 1-1. That was an amazing performance. Now, again, on Stasis, they do show to be stronger, but at the same time, we know that we kind of gave some handicap. Let me tell you, the second draft was more utilitarian in nature. That was a pretty good match, objectively speaking. I don't want to go too deeply into just bearing the colors that much, but I think the second game in that series was actually one to watch with expectation that it could go either way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, pulling up just looking at that game, the first game that you pointed out was a bit of a handicap game. You made the fatal mistake of giving Stessi his Warlock, which has proved time and again to be really devastating for anyone that comes up against it.
Yeah, but again, in the second game, it's not like we went for a Path of Roses. We selected a dual ogre.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and you paid for it with a 50-minute sort of slogfest, but Stessi doesn't get his Warlock, and you guys are kind of showing maybe how to stress a team like Sus, right? And you're kind of starting to show the cracks, even if you couldn't quite get around to exposing them completely.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So moving on from Group 1, I think one I definitely want to talk about, because you mentioned before, Banana, about sort of teams developing as the group stage continued. I feel like I've got to bring it up, not just for myself, but for them. Too Hot for Dota. Completely new roster this year, other than... God, I'm gonna have so many, so many issues with my brain today, just not remembering specific details. Only Bassmaster returning, with Zoe on the coaching spot, but they definitely struggled in their first few games. I mean, Group 4, I would argue strongly as the most difficult group, to be honest. Solid and Black Country Widows, two very strong teams. But Too Hot for Dota in their final game against BAPS showed up as a completely different team.
Yeah.
Bringing out a 2-0 after all losses, BAPS having drawn against Black Country Widows, it looked like it was going to be over for Too Hot for Dota heading to the elimination bracket, and they turned up and just absolutely broke BAPS, I think, especially in that second game.
Yeah, I mean, Too Hot for Dota is one of those teams that has pedigree, really. Like them and Mancaf are kind of two. I mean,
institutions of the Goonternational.
Yeah, Stessi's to some extent. They've gone from Stessi's shitters to Stessi's ultra shitters.
I wonder what next year. I wonder what they go to from ultra.
Ultra mega shitters, uber shitters.
Stessi's, oh my god, it's so much shitters.
Omega shitters.
Stessi's help, I can't stop shitting. There's something in there. But yeah, Too Hot for Dota. I mean, like, off the back of last year as well, when they won the whole thing, they've got a big. They've got a big shadow that they're currently stepping in. And I think they're doing a really good job of working their way out of it, sort of finding out how they play with each other, because it's a team that maybe hasn't got as much experience together as the old roster did. They spent so much time last year just scrimming and playing ranked games as 5. And obviously they don't have the kind of the secret sauce of a player like MPR, who, after winning 2 tournaments in a row, clearly is doing something right, sort of securing an offlane position. But they're doing a really good job of kind of saying, look, let's forget last year. You know, we're not the same Too Hot for Dota that we were. New roster, new look, and they're really starting to find their stride, like you said.
Yeah, I mean,
Banana, let me bring the point there that it did really seem like they enjoyed trying hard last year, and they seem to be taking it in a very different mood this year. I don't think the players are necessarily of a lower ranking. It's more like they are more reliant on going with the strategy instead of just the practice attitude that they used to have. So I concur with what you're saying.
Yeah, and I would.
In that.
Sorry, go.
No, that's fine.
And I would argue that this shift in attitude is probably much more in keeping with the true spirit of Goonternational, less of this try-harding and more just showing up for the game half-baked and wondering what's going on and having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd been sober for all of my group stage games, and we had a discussion before our first main stage game last night. I said to the boys, I said, I've taken this a bit seriously. I apologize for that, because I said we'd go in with sort of more of a meme, let's just have fun attitude, not worry what comes out. And a few beers later, and sort of a better attitude, and we're doing all right. So I think the way to go is more casual and less worrying.
Yes, I think definitely goons, especially people of our ability, can get really trapped in the idea that there's a very specific way to play Dota, and that the pro meta is really impactful, and you kind of have to play Dota a certain way, otherwise you'll end up falling victim to all kind of X number of issues. When in actuality, I find a lot of the time teams play their best Dota when they're relaxed and they're having fun. Maybe they're doing some goofy shit and it's, they're going a bit crazy, but ultimately I find you see the best performances when people are kind of let to enjoy themselves rather than sort of forced into a pigeonhole defined by people with 10,000 more MMR than they have.
Yeah, I mean, I think every captain that I speak to, when I ask them like how their drafts go, for example, we had Seething standing in for us last night, captain of Sit Out, and I said to him, I don't know how your drafts go. Ours tend to be hell, so I'm just giving you a heads up for that. And he said, nope, ours are basically the same, just no one's particularly helpful. Everybody's talking over each other, and you can't get what you need out of your team. But is this
that
idea
seemed to really work well for you. That was a marked improvement, let me tell you.
I mean, it definitely was, but I think most people's drafts, because it's an idea of you're not drafting the same way like a pro team would, or even like an amateur team. You're drafting as if you're playing all pick, basically. You want some heroes that are going to work well, but you're saying to your guys, I think for the most time, what do you want to play? What are you comfortable on? And it's definitely the way to go, because I don't think many goons have the hero pool to really draft properly, I would say. You can't just pick the hero that's going to be great there, because your guy doesn't play it.
The classic goon puddle, yep.
For sure, absolutely. I mean, you see that with some of the players in the tournament definitely got more of a puddle than others, and you see that the players that tend to have this more diverse kind of hero pool seem to be doing a little bit better on average in the strats boards, purely because it's so hard to kind of target them, ban them out, so you can't play this hero.
Yeah.
Conversely, you also have guys who teams just don't think is a problem, and they end up kind of turning up and doing a really, really good job.
It's hard because you sort of, I think, for a banning perspective, you somewhat go off rank in it, but there's a weird thing, I think, and I don't know if it's just Goon games. I don't watch the most professional Dota, but I tune in every so often. And a lot of the Goons, myself included, draft with it. You go, your first ban's mostly going to ban all the supports because that's going to be the first pick. Then you realize, oh crap, I have like 1 or 2 more bans before like the big picking phase. And then the other thing is they always draft 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 basically, or 5, 4, 3, 1, 2, and it's always the same order. And you end up getting a lot of your heroes either picked or banned before you can pick your cores, really.
Well, that's one of the things that Stetties have exploited. They first picked a Medusa the other day. So, people seem to, and Alex is one of these heroes where, conventionally speaking, it's kind of generally accepted he's the owner of a hero puddle. So he first picks Medusa, says, look, before you even have the chance to ban one of my 2 heroes, I'm going to pick it. And they said, kind of bring it on, pick whatever you want. And they managed to win the game anyway.
I will throw out, not the only team to first pick a Medusa. I've done that myself, although we just never run it core.
Yeah, brave man.
Just always
brave
throw it on the support for the lulz.
Medusa.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a fear that you pick at this stage. You pick your core hero too early, and your enemies counter pick you, and you just get stuck. You're not too worried if they counter pick a support because you feel like they're not going to have as high an impact. Not always the case, but quite often. You don't want your POS 1 getting heavy countered and then getting stuck in the late game.
No, absolutely not. But I was saying some of the support play has been some of the best play that we've seen in the tournament. Like, especially from the sort of position 4, there's been some incredible kind of playmaking and enabling going on.
Yeah,
across a lot of teams.
I definitely never let a Goon get clockwork, it turns out.
Oh, Clock is proving to just be. I've got a thing on Clockwork that we're going to talk about a little bit later. He's proving to be such a ball bag, and people just can't deal with him. And I don't blame them because I can't either.
Clock worked very well for us, no doubt. But on the other hand, it needs you to adapt the strategy to work together with the way that Clock comes in and traps and then can move ahead. The initiation changes a bit. It does work, but if you don't draft together in a coalescing way, it definitely has its drawbacks. So it's not as strong as you would assume.
I'm still very scared of it. I'm so scared of Clock.
Oh yeah, I think the problem with Clock is that he does too much from too little. Like, even if you can't play the hero very well, battery assault plus cogs plus the occasional hook shot is gonna be enough to win you one or two team fights, regardless of how good the person playing him is. And then if you do have a good Clockwork player, it's toast. Like, you can hook someone from across the map, starts a fight, separates people out with the cogs, there's mana being burnt, people are being pushed everywhere, they can't get their spells off because of battery assault. It's just a nightmare. It's a horrible, horrible hero to have against you, especially when you can just kind of ban him out in the first phase and not have to worry about it, which I think is what a lot of people have been doing.
He's just a very strong pos 4, and getting the value out like that you do from Clockwork from that position is just crazy. When he's in pos 4, he almost plays like a pos 3.5. He's I don't think he's a good pos 3, to be fair, but he sits in that in the middle gap. I think Pudge does a similar thing if you play him support. That just if you've got a good player on it, it's an absolute nightmare to deal with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, I guess we're heading that way. Should we head into some stats and then we can get talking about the heroes that have been picked? Because I feel myself wanting to talk about, I don't know, Shadow Demon, Hoodwink seems like they show up everywhere, that sort of thing. So I feel like you're going to have some information for us on that, Banana.
Oh my god, let's absolutely get right into it.
Tell you what, is this gonna screw up everything? Can move that over there. Sorry, I'm going to have to grab up. Banana has put together a lovely and very professional presentation for us, believe. But I have not currently got that up anywhere, as I forgot that I would need to show it. So I'm going to now find that.
If you look in our little chat, the one with the three of us in it, it's been listed.
I can find
There should be a link in there.
I'm not sure if my girlfriend just fell over or found a spider, but I heard a clatter and a slip, so...
A clatter and a scream.
I'm sure she's fine. Here we go. Oh god, I can't get this back where I need it now. Go up on that screen, but don't go full screen. Oh, there we go. Production value, everybody. Look at us go.
Production value. Am I going to have to tell you when to click? It will be like a click, click, click.
Yeah, you are going to have to tell me when to click.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Right, we're ready to go.
Yeah, so if you go in the top right, I think on sheets, on slides, whatever, there we are. Perfect. So, I think we will click and start it off. You just get the little... yeah, it just brings it over.
Just a reminder of what show you're watching, everybody. It's Top Goon.
It's Top Goon, right?
With me and Banana, and also our special guest, Dr. Jonas.
Amazing. Yeah, so sort of starting off, we've got a very lovingly assembled list of the top teams. You've got Stessy Shitters, Team Solid, LL Cube. Now, this is an exact copy, lovingly handcrafted by myself, of the page you see on strats, minus the most banned heroes. Just immediately kind of takeaways from this is that it's wrong. Team Solid are number 3. So you might have to click.
Well, I mean,
and we'll
although
just,
Team Solid may
we'll
not still be in here, you know, I think they may not still be in the tournament. I think it's fair to say they played very well in the group stage.
Yeah,
I think just looking at this, it's interesting some of the teams that end up much further down. But I guess, you know, the difference in the groups really comes into play here.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And you kind of see a bit of a stacking towards the kind of...
Actually, hang on. I can share my screen to you so you don't have to watch
I was going to say, I'm kind of talking with a delay.
And then I can just
figure this one out.
Screen share. There we go. Right. You've got it live now, or more live than everybody else.
Okay, so we've now wiped away the error. So I guess the next thing to do would be to click again, and we'll just adjust our stats. There we go. Look, we've moved up. Team Sit Out are now at number 10.
Yeah, I see why he's done it now. He's cropped out the team that's now out of the tournament to bring Sit Out into the top 10.
So there we go. So this is the current standings for the tournament. We've got positions 1 through 10. As you can see, there's obviously a couple of front runners, the undefeated Team Stessis and Team and they are also, they're the only teams that seem to be consistently outperforming their opponents. Everyone else has dropped at least 2 series here and there. Obviously, we're in third by virtue of our tiebreaker only. We would be 4-2 without that tiebreaker.
What are these plus and minuses that we're seeing?
So that's the impact score from Strats. So the impact score is, it's pretty arbitrary, to be honest. You kind of get very little from Strats with regards to impact score, because it just it's based off a whole load of metrics that kind of are sometimes correct, sometimes not. It really varies. They put a lot of emphasis on stuff like stuns and runes and things like that. So we'll talk about it a bit later. But a lot of the time you end up seeing supports or mids that have got higher impact scores, even if perhaps maybe that isn't completely reflective of what someone watching the game might have taken away.
But in our case, unfortunately, that -17 is almost all of it because of Alfredo. I'm sorry to say, we don't.
Yes, carries do get hammered by impact
So
score.
no
That's
pointing
also worth
fingers.
mentioning.
But so are these the heroes that are there? Are they the highest impact heroes for each team?
No, so these are the most picked heroes for each team.
Ah.
So you'll see a lot of supports is kind of the biggest thing. Supports seem to be the tournament's most contested picks. Heroes, a lot of the time we're seeing Jakiro, Lich and Venge are the kind of 3 that stand out. Otherwise, you've got smatterings of kind of specialist heroes. Stessis, interestingly, have got the Lion and the Jakiro there. That's both myth. He's played 2 heroes in the tournament, and that's all him. He's just a fan. He's a really strong player on those 2 heroes, and they're not getting banned, so they just keep picking it.
I think you called him out on one of your streams that I watched, that you said that he was having a really high impact on the Jakiro.
Yeah, and he keeps getting away with it. People just don't take it off him, and they pay the price. Clearly, 8-0. Other than that, you just see sort of general kind of good core picks, and then just a bit of weird off meta kind of specialist players. I hate the fact that Ricky is one of our most played heroes. That's just me in 2 games. We won 2 games on him, so he's one of our most successful.
Well, I mean, I'd have to make it into the top 10 to know for myself, but
well, if you click again.
Just quickly, it's interesting to see Magnus, I feel, on OGs. I feel like Magnus not a massively picked hero in the current meta. Could be wrong on that, but I just don't feel like I see him a lot.
No, so they're convinced that Larry Llama and the Magnus is the way to go for the off lane, but they only ever pick it when he's on Dire. Sorry. Yeah, they pick Magnus on Dire and Slardar on Radiant, or the other way around, and that's just the way they go. And the only time they've deviated from that is when we banned out, I think it was we banned the Magnus for their game, and they picked Underlord instead and just ruined us.
So what you're saying is, if they're playing Radiant, don't worry about banning Magnus. If they're playing Dire, then get rid of that and Underlord.
Yeah, I think so. And it's just, and because it was so horrifically oppressive to play against, and you just couldn't do anything. You really couldn't do anything. I've just had a phone call, which I believe is my HelloFresh, so I might have to run and bring that from the porch.
That's all right. The next? Okay,
yeah,
right.
So
we'll bring in the next ones, and we'll have a little chat about those while you do that.
Absolutely.
We're professionals, everybody, and we're not sponsored by HelloFresh or Mancaf, as it might look. We currently have no sponsors.
We are sponsored by Mancaf, of course.
Okay, he's sponsored by Mancaf. The stream is technically a Fry Guys production, so there's no plug for that anywhere, though. Yeah, so looking now going into the other 6 teams, the other 6 teams that we didn't have for our total of 16, now no longer 17. Oh, we don't have heroes for these. Nope, we don't have heroes for these. Well, that's a shame, but oh well. Impact scores definitely getting worse. Although, interestingly, Mancaf has a very low impact score. I know you were
Told you.
saying, yeah, taken by one hero, but we're not getting lower than that until we get down to sort of 14th place, the bottom 3.
Yeah, well, the problem with the impact score, of course, because this is calculated by strats, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say again?
Yeah, the impact scores are coming from strats.
Yes, the impact scores are pulled directly from strats.
I was just saying that the main CAF minus 17 isn't matched until we get down to the bottom 4, so...
Yeah, there's... But the thing is, you can play really well in a game, you can feel like you're doing really well, you can win pretty confidently, and strats will still slap you with a very high negative score. Conversely, you can be doing quite badly and have a really low negative, even positive score. So, like I say, it depends on these kind of metrics that strats has that are really kind of just dependent on some very situational stuff.
Also, I never use strats, so I don't understand any of it. I'm a Dota buff enjoyer.
I see. Yeah, strats I feel has got a more comprehensive, maybe kind of collection of statistics.
I'm just stuck in my ways. I don't understand how it works. But that's why I've got you here today. You can explain it all to me as we go.
I'll talk for England. I'll talk us through it. Yeah. So if we go on to the next slide, we've just got a couple of kind of tidbits.
Right. I saw this the other day when you first sent the slides over, and this I think is really interesting. The win rate for each side.
Absolutely, because, and I don't know if this is just us, we feel like we play much better on the Radiant side than we do on the Dire side.
I think statistically, overall, like across all Dota, Radiant has a higher win rate than Dire. If you ask most people, their personal win rate will be higher Radiant than Dire. And my argument for this, because I feel I'm better on Radiant, my argument for this was always just that Radiant feels like a happy place to be. It's just nicer to be farming on the Radiant side. You're having a great time. You're the good guys. You're gonna knock them 1-2 to the baddies. It's what you're brought up to do in life. It's just what you're taught, that you should be the good guys.
Yeah, and as a carry as well, it feels so much nicer to farm the kind of Fed affectionately calls them the bitch camps. If you're having a bad lane, the safe camps off to the side of the lane feel much nicer to farm on the Radiant than they do on the Dire. Especially because you've got your, I think it's just the way they're set up and the way the trees are. You can pull them both, and there's some kind of stuff you can do that's much more technical than I'm aware of. But yeah, that was the biggest takeaway for me, was the fact that Radiant actually have a lower win rate than Dire. The average match duration, pretty kind of standard for Dota. I think 44 minutes is a pretty nice middle ground.
Still quite long.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you can get a win by 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. I think people are favoring the kind of Medusa Lunas, kind of later game carries at the minute, though. So you're seeing there's been a lot of really long games. I say a lot. There's been at least 5 60+ minute games, many more 50+ minute games. And there's been a couple of kind of shorter stomps in there to kind of bring that average down. But overall, I think pretty much on par with what I expect to see. Looking at the top players just quickly, we will go into this a bit more detail, but if you just click, we'll highlight 3 of them.
Yeah, before we move on with the match duration, we all know that the latest patches actually brought down the average, because we saw a lot of that.
Yes, yeah, there was a 20-minute game, wasn't it? You guys brought down the average.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think the teams are playing very carefully, and that's why it's contributing to the average to go up.
I've cast some games with no first blood until like 10-15 minutes in. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, we played a 40-minute game with like 14 kills in it the other day. It was very cagey.
But I mean, also, I know my team personally, we really struggle to get anything done in the mid game because we're just a bit incompetent. So you're kind of running around just like, oh, what do we do? I guess we'll farm.
Yeah, high ground's our enemy. We struggle to break high ground, so we don't want to try it, and then we end up like this.
Oh, we try it and then we throw the game.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. But yeah, looking at these top players, it immediately jumps out that 3 of the 5 are from Team M. So,
that is really interesting, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, like just watching these guys play. I think I cast one of their games against Gubcord. They are hilariously well coordinated, and they haven't really struggled to brush anyone aside. So it's maybe not entirely surprising that they're up here, but there's 3 guys all with plus 10 or higher, which is hard to do on strats, as we'll see when we look at the rest of the top 10. And it is interesting to note that the 2 guys at 4 and 5, James and Dav Not Dav, are 2 of the lower ranked players in their team. I think aside from Mephisto Mori, I'm not sure how he matches up to James, but Dav famously struggled to get the Guardian train out of Heraldville.
Daff is a better player than I think people think he is.
Absolutely. He's around Crusader, right? Or like High Guardian?
He's like mid to High Guardian.
But I mean, after
bottom Crusader, yeah.
After watching the games before we played against them, I was, as a captain, thinking, yeah, I'm going to ban a couple of Daff's heroes because I'm not letting those through. Like,
absolutely,
I should not let him have those. He's having too high an impact on them, as clearly he has. I will point out 4 of these, if we exclude Lance Valentine, they're all Group 3.
I mean, 60% of that score must be his AA.
Yeah,
his AA is lethal.
But I mean, the more coming out of Group 3, I wasn't putting Group 3 as that difficult a group compared to the others. So it's interesting that they've had such high impact. Clearly, my own team and Gubcord have just not put up a good fight against them.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for the rest of the team, Llama is down at number 17 and Mephisto Mori is at number 49.
Oh, okay.
These guys, these 3 especially, are lethal. The next slide, I think we're going to look a bit more at the top heroes. So this is the 10 most picked heroes of the tournament so far.
This is as I expected to see, I think. Luna and Clockwork were right at the top.
Yes, absolutely. Now this is
making an appearance
organized
as well.
in terms of matches. We've got a couple of things to note. So if you click, we'll see how it's actually Stessy's shitters that have 4 of the top 6 heroes as the most successful.
See,
so this is best on.
We're definitely going to see an imbalance here, though, aren't we? Because of the number of games played by these teams. So obviously, Group 1, having had the extra team in there, have all played an extra 2 games.
Yes. Although interesting that you say that, is Team has the 2nd highest appearances here, and Breaking Baps as well. Sorry, Black Country Widows. So you've got 2 guys, 1 guy from Group 3, 1 guy from, I think, Black Country Widows are in Group 4, right? So they're also on there. But Stessy's have got 4 of these of the top 6. The best on metric is just who's won the most games. So Stessy's have won 3 games on Luna, they've won 3 games on Lion, and they've won 3 games on Lich. Obviously, those are all 3-0s. And then Jakiro at number 6, they're 5-0 with the Jakiro. That's Myth. So this is what I was saying earlier. Myth's Jakiro, 5-0 in the tournament. Danger
Crazy.
Man. And he's only got a 5% ban rate. No one cares about the Jakiro. He's been picked in 22% of the games. 5 of those have been just Stessy's dominating with him.
I mean, I know he was huge in the meta a few months ago, Jakiro, like he was getting picked here, there, and everywhere, but I feel like he did fall off a little bit just in terms of picks. I'm not a Jakiro player myself, but I think
it's mainly because people figure out what to do against his Ags.
Yes. Yeah, they found out how to play the Ags. Although, interestingly, the first game, Stessy's that I cast, it was the Ags that kind of turned the game in their favor. They were struggling a bit. I think it was Sit-Out they were playing against, and the Jakiro Ags just kind of completely turned a couple of team fights around, and they managed to get a handle back on the game and just kind of run away with it.
I feel looking at this, I see 2 things here. I see people need to be banning Clockwork because why aren't you? And definitely don't let James get him. And other than that, someone, I don't know who it is, someone's picking Lion, and they need to stop picking Lion for whoever it is on their team, because he's not doing good for them.
That was point number 4. Lion fucking stinks, especially in the hands of the Goons, and I don't know why.
But you're saying Stezzies have done all right with him. I think if you've got 5 games on Lion and 3 of them are wins, that's not awful. But someone is tanking that. I guess actually 5 games, winning 3. No, that's almost 2/3. So. Yeah, someone's bringing that win rate down on Lion. So if you're a captain out there, if you've been drafting Lion for someone, stop.
Yeah, I'm really curious about. Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm really curious about the fact that Clockwork's getting banned 6 out of 10 times, but at the same time, because you were mentioning that the Goons are not banning supports mainly, that they're either just focusing the first round of bans on supports and then they just rush to ban the cores because they realize, oh, what have we done here? I would like to see if there's, among those with the highest ban rate,
Yes, we do have that later. Well, I'll get into that.
I do
what
think
happens if it's more support heavy or more core heavy?
I think looking at ban rates and some of the supports. Oh, hang on, technical issues.
You seem to
Sorry,
have
guys.
stabilized.
Just a little audio crash there. We're all good now. Looking at the bans on some of these, I think the top picked heroes are also, if their supports are also going to be lower banned because of the fact that people want to pick them themselves. So
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
I actually think that Hoodwink ban rate is higher than I was expecting, because I think there's a lot of teams that just won't ban it, ourselves included, because we just want to pick it, and it's not horrendous to play against, but if you've got someone good on it, it can be a useful hero to have. But yeah,
the Hoodwink just gives so much utility if you have a player that can land the bushwhacks. It's you get break, you get a little bit of evasion, you get scouting, you get really high damage. It can scale into the late game. Hoodwink's just a bit of a ball bag. One of the other things to look at here is how Black Country Widows are kind of quietly running away with this Abaddon.
Yeah, Wellen likes the Abaddon, or the Abaddon.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it also been pulled out a couple of times by Too Hot for Dota on said Hep. Again, not a bad Abaddon player, not as high impact though. I'm not sure that I feel when casting the games that Wellen's had the biggest impact on Abaddon. I'm not sure I'd even say it's his best hero, but clearly in terms of like the team structure and what they're aiming to do, it works for them. They're winning games with it.
What structure, but it doesn't matter.
It does also it is also worth bearing in mind that it could be that Abaddon was just picked and had no impact on the game, and the team won anyway, and that's why they're appearing as the best team to have played him. Although overall the hero is 11-2. He's got an 84.6% win rate, and 4 of these are at the hands of Black Country Widows. The highest win rate hero, the 2 highest win rate heroes ahead of him, because he's number 3 in the tournament overall, is Slardar with 88.9% across 9 games, and then Ursa with 85.7 across 7 games. Obviously, there are some 100% win rate heroes, none of them with more than sort of 3 or 4 games. So I kind of discounted those as being not entirely statistically significant.
Not enough information on them.
Yeah, and Clockwork, obviously, sitting there, he's a ball bag. He's just an absolute ball bag.
Yeah, I've just noticed what you've written there. Not a typo, I'm sure. Definitely Clockwork.
No, that's very definitely deliberate. Now, the next slide is our bans. So we're looking here at the ban rate. Again,
interesting. Clockwork right up there.
Yeah, Clockwork and Shadow Demon, two of easily the most contested heroes in the tournament, followed by Luna Medusa. Now, go ahead.
So it's indeed core heavy.
Yes. So what we're seeing as a general trend is that teams tend to be looking for the kind of support bans early on. It's really weighted towards the top 4. So in almost every game, you'll see either a Clockwork or a Shadow Demon banned first phase. Outside of that, they will ban a Luna or a Medusa because of teams like Halo 3 and Stasis that have been first picking it, and people are starting to think, well, I don't want it to get through. So that's why you see these 50% on the top sort of 4 heroes. Outside of that, it does seem to be a bit more targeted, or it's people going, let's look at our homework. What do these guys play? Who can we get rid of that might hamper this draft? It tends to be much more kind of related to what the people in the game would play, rather than what people wouldn't want to play against. It's kind of target bans that we see after that. But those top 4, and to some extent the Sand King as well, people are just banning in the first phase. I will guarantee you almost every game that you look at, one of these 4 heroes, if not more, will appear in the first phase of bans. Outside of this, you've got Drow on the list, which was interesting to me because she's not, when you talk about the kind of meta at the minute, Drow isn't really a hero that appears. However, if you kind of dig a bit deeper, it's pretty apparent why she's there. She's been banned in a third of all matches, but she's only actually been picked 3 times. So people are scared of the Drow because she does so well against these kind of low range, agi, butterfly buying heroes like Luna, Medusa, and SF, because her ult pierces the evasion. And also what you buy are Ags on the Drow as well. Suddenly your alchemists, your life stealers, your kind of strength carries that are really good also kind of fall fall apart because she can do a lot with that kind of Ags, the high ground, the Gust to just control them.
I
So
mean,
people are really scared of the Drow.
Drow
but
gets
actually,
enough.
she's not really being picked.
Drow gets enough money. Drow wins the game. I think it's kind of how it goes. I had a game the other day. We had a few people abandon on the enemy team, but like literally only 2 of them stayed. But the Drow got so much money, she was unkillable. Like you could not get close to her. She just had the items. Like it was insane. So yeah, I think Drow banned for good reason, and maybe not picked because of the bans. I mean, going to be picked quite late, I think, if you're picking Drow. So there's a lot of time to get rid of that.
Yeah, for sure. Although I'm not sure really how many teams would really seriously consider picking a Drow. She just feels, especially in the hands of the Goons, like you say, you need to get that late game timing. But a lot of these games have been going 44 minutes, and a Drow that loses her lane, or a Drow that loses her lane hard, isn't going to really be online until about that 44-minute mark when the game's already over. So I don't know how kind of confident people would be around the Drow if it's something that people have created in their minds as a problem, or what's really going on with it. But yeah, we've got a really interesting picture painted.
I have just got word from Dr. Jonas's management that he does have a prior media engagement to move on to, so we are going to have to lose him now.
Absolutely. So I'm going to free up the position in the desk. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Your insight's been excellent. Back to just the 2 of us.
Just the 2 of us. Well, we've got 14 slides and we're on slide 5, so we better get cracking.
Let's move through some of these slides then. Otherwise,
we'll go a bit quicker.
I have made some adjustments to the running schedule, but we're going to need to move through. So players here.
Perfect. Yeah, so we got players. It's organized in terms of rating rather than anything else, which is just kind of Strats' amalgamation of performance metrics, which tries to give a comprehensive display of the perceived value of the player. It's pretty heavily weighted towards things like kill participation, stuns, etc.
Yes.
So we see an awful lot more kind of support mids featured higher up on the list. As I mentioned a few slides ago,
what position's Munchie? Sorry, is that Munchie's?
Munchie's a mid. So you see that bow and arrow to the right? Those are the mid players.
The mid icon. So we got top 3 all mids.
Top 3 all mids. Then you've got the little hand with the flame is your off support, and the little hand with the sparkles is your pos 5. So really, 9 of the top 10 players are mid or supports.
That's quite interesting, to be fair. Yeah, no sort of carries getting in there.
Strats doesn't place a lot of value on the carry gameplay. Like the metric doesn't include hitting creeps to the same extent. And because they don't do much until later in the game, Strats rating doesn't really give them that much value.
A rampaging mid is going to get a lot more XP and kills and assists than the carry coming in later in the game after farming.
And that's why players like Lance Valentine and Munchie and Wogan that are running around the map and killing people constantly are so high up and so highly valued according to this metric.
I mean, Lunst is such a valuable player for his team, I think, in that if you look at the games that Black Country Widows lost, Lunst Valentine lost mid.
Yeah.
Tends to be how it goes on that.
I do a deep dive into the top 2 players
this is exciting
later on. So 3 of the top 5 are in Team as we talked about earlier, but also when you kind of expand it to the top 10, you see Stessie's, Wogan's Wizards, and Black Country Widows all represented with 2 players each. So Wogan and Hubert Rister are the Wogan's Wizards players. Ninjasnowman and Stessie the Palmo Enjoyer are Stessie Shitters, and Black Country Widows, you've got Bleak and Lance Valentine.
Am I correct here that this is all, there is nobody from Group 2 in this list?
Nope, none of us from Group 2 are featured.
Interesting. I mean, this creates a suggestion in statistics that Group 2 is a weaker group. Obviously, no direct offense at any of the teams there, but...
No, I mean, statistically, yeah. And even if we count out Jack, who is kind of a special feature, they stood in for 1 game. They did really well on a Hoodwink, so they're there with the +10 at number 8. If we discount Jack, the next number 10 would be OBST from Spherical, who is also a mid player and is not in Group 2.
But I would also suggest it could mean that Group 2 is so well balanced between all the teams that it's difficult for any of them to have high enough impact to make the list.
That is also another way of looking at it. If we look outside of the mids and supports, Bleak from Black Country Widows is obviously number 10 from the offlane, but next to that, Cool Armor is number 17 as the most valuable carrier of the tournament so far. So we'll look at a couple of the players in a second, like I said. But in the meantime, as you've just been looking at, we've got the bottom 10 players.
That's what this is.
These are the 10 worst players by rating in the
so
tournament.
Number 10 is the bottom.
No, so number 10 is the 10th worst. Number 1 is the
number
worst.
Number 1 is the worst. Okay, so this is reversed now. Okay.
So yeah, the first thing that immediately jumped out at me looking at this chart: 4 of the 5 players are from Gubcore Dota Division.
Yes, I'm seeing that. That's Union, Prince, Gub, Maddie, Meepo on a Horse, and I believe Skulk Bastard.
Yeah. You can understand how Strats could come to this conclusion, given that they've got an 0-6 record and the fact that some of their games are pretty stompy, but I don't think it does them much justice. I mean, when you consider the kind of non-Dota related issues that they had, they've played an unfortunate number of their games with stand-ins, which could have seriously hampered the development, the developed chemistry of an established group like these guys are. They played in the Masters together, the Masters.
Yeah.
Like, they're not a new team by any means.
Are any of these teams not? Are any of these players, sorry, not from a bottom of the group team?
No, they're all pretty low down. I mean, Fua is Breaking Baps, I want to say.
Right. Okay.
And Hunter is from Bad Lads.
Okay, but they're 2 teams that aren't 0-6. To be fair.
Yes, no. There's not everyone in is 0-6. It's just Granny's Cookies and Gubcord, and the Granny's Cookies player is Spineapple.
Spineapple, and that's it. So that's it's interesting though that in the bottom 10, Granny's Cookies only have 1 player.
Yes, it's telling. So, like you were saying, whereas there aren't anyone in the top 10 from Group 2. Sorry. Granny's Cookies are in Group 1, aren't they? I'm just getting ahead of myself because I'm playing them later.
Just preparing.
Yeah, so Hunter is Group 2 from Bad Lads. He would probably be the only person that's appeared from our group. So, like you said, while there aren't any people in the top 10, there's not really anyone in the bottom 10 either, apart from Hunter, who I think falls victim to this kind of Strats anti-carry kind of bias.
Yeah, I mean, also seeing only two mid players in here, quite a few offlaners actually.
Yes, so if an offlaner does badly, especially out of the lane, they get hammered by a strat score.
Yeah, I mean
the -38 average impact over 6 games, I'm not sure how fair that is.
I think there's possibly a similar issue among goons, as I've definitely identified it myself, which is you come out in the offlane having won your lane and ahead, phenomenal game, it's a great time. You come out behind and it is very difficult to play as an offlaner when most of the offlaners picked by the goons are get in there, tank the hits, get hits so that your team members aren't getting hit. That's hard to do when you've got no health.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, on Gubcore, just touching on them quickly, it is important to remind everyone of what Maddie said. Their mid player is that they're just here to play some fun Dota and make it enjoyable to watch. So regardless of how well or poorly they perform, you should remember that. And also, I think that goes for everyone. Teams a run for their money.
It goes for everyone that this is supposed to be a shit level Dota tournament. So even the ones in the top aren't necessarily amazing, and the ones in the bottom aren't necessarily awful. And we got to remember this is based on impact a lot of the time. And
yes, this
sometimes
is a very
your impact
rating.
can be crap because your team doesn't play around you. This isn't aimed at teams or players. So don't kick your player just because they're on this list. Kick them because they're a dick, that's fine, but don't kick them because they're here.
Oh, we're getting to that already, are we? And also on the spherical only having not spherical, what am I talking about? Granny's Cookies only having 1 person in the team. Absolutely. Give Spineapple a check out for the couple of his songs he's written. They're fantastic. What he lacks in Dota, he more than makes up for in songwriting ability. There are 2 amazing songs, Granny's Back and the Granny's Theme, both sitting in the Goonternational channel
arguably
somewhere.
He's been spending too much time writing music and not enough time playing Dota.
Yeah, I mean, if you can tie him down, people like that, you just can't keep their fingers off the guitar strings. We'll hop into, so this is one of our deep dives. This is Munchie. He's currently the top player of the tournament, 100% win rate, 5 of 6 top player awards. So the little red battle axe means he's the top core. The little purple crown is MVP. And you'll notice...
I do like the idea that on 3 occasions he's been beaten out by a support on his team.
He's 3 occasions he's been beaten out by the MVP as a support. You'll notice immediately has not played the same hero twice. That makes him an absolute nightmare to play.
That is insane.
If you're a Goon, because you just see him and you go, shit, what do we ban? And he's just he doesn't win lane very often. Like he wins lane on Sand King and Viper, and
but I mean,
those
even
two
getting
are
a
really
draw is
impressive
good
laners.
enough. I think I said a similar thing about Seething last night when we were watching a couple of like replays back when he was standing in for us, and it's like I don't know if how he was doing in the lane necessarily, but he didn't die, and I think that's a big thing for a mid.
Yeah,
like don't die in your lane, don't give the feed to the other team, and you come out pretty Gucci most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Munchie, while he's not like a lane stomper. He's not one of these mids that wins lane every game and then maybe loses or maybe wins. He's just kind of consistently it seems to draw more than anything. But then it's that mid game where he completely shines. He kind of moves around a lot. He's constantly going lane to lane to lane. He's taking over. He's doing all kinds of crazy rotations, getting kills here, there, and everywhere. And he just kind of sets the tempo for his teammates like James and Dav to just kind of pile onto and really kind of turn these games around, grab them, and just kind of drive them into the ground.
I love the Archon 5 mega value lad.
Yeah, there's no way he's Archon 5. I watched that man play. I thought he was ancient something, but
I mean, I think we gotta be careful. You're gonna be sending these stats to Pyrian, and he's gonna make a special list if he lets in his games. It's only gonna be mega value lads.
I know. I mean, Archon Munchie. Mega value lad. We'll leave it at that.
I think we should test it out sometime. We should get them all in a stack and see how many games they can win in a row because they're such a good value. All of them. We'll do mega value Mondays.
Mega value Monday. I like the idea of that. So we've got the other side of the coins. Luntz Valentine, second best player in the tournament, I think, behind
Munchie.
Behind Munchie. Very different story. Much more consistent in his picks. He loves the sniper. He loves the DK. He wins his lane a bit more, and when he does, holy shit, he has an impact.
This is interesting though, because I've cast these games, and the two that they lost, I would say that I actually didn't cast this Invoking game, sorry, but I'd say he lost a couple of these lanes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just from like a viewing standpoint. So it's interesting that Strats doesn't think so.
Yeah, so Strats will base a lane win or loss on stuff like kills, XP, last hits, denies, and GPM at the end of it. What I picked up from these games, he's in a very similar position. He's got 3 top cores, 2 MVPs, super high impact, especially on that 20-1 Wind Ranger. If you don't shut this guy down coming out of the lane, he will kill you. And he will kill you over and over and over again. Interestingly, in winning games, he's not died more than twice. So maybe if you see Luntz, if you're playing up against him, you see Luntz, he's on 2 deaths. Your game's starting to slip away from you. Smoke up, find Luntz, kill him. You've got the probabilities on your side. You've switched it.
I will say I'm biased here, having cast so much of Group 4. I've become a big Luntz Valentine fan. I've been told not to say that because apparently his ego is going to explode. But I'm scared to go up against them. I'm scared of Luntz Valentine. It keeps me up at night.
Yeah, us too. The Black Country Widows, there are some really kind of scary. I can't say whether he's a mega value lad or not for mega value Mondays. Last I saw, I was under the impression that the lad was like divine.
I was under the impression he was like high ancient, like ancient 5 or something. But
Buff says ancient 5. GDoe says he's within the limit. I trust GDoe.
I think what I would say, well, the limit is Ancient 5, I believe. It was upped after the original announcement. But
I see.
I think with these 2 top players, I think what we see is that Munchie is possibly much more of a team player, and that's not to throw any shade at Luntz, but Luntz clearly is more of a I will win my lane, I will dominate the game, and Munchie's more like I'm going to hold out and I'm going to play with my team, and we're going to work together.
Yeah, it's a tale of 2 players, isn't it? It's completely different play styles, like shown in the heroes and in the Munchie loves these kind of aggressive blink kill heroes. So you've got the Slardar, you've got the Primal, you've got the SK. There's a sniper and there's a Weaver in there as well, and a Viper. These guys are more kind of lane dominating.
But overall,
the Weaver will kill you early game.
Munchie looking at more, I'm going to come and gank my lane and help out my carry in my off lane, and Luntz looking more, I'm going to win my lane and I'm going to be the carry.
Sure, he sits in the lane, shuts it down, takes a tower, and then he goes and farms, or he goes and kills.
I am the carry now.
He just does it on loop. Exactly. We'll just do a little snapshot into the longest and shortest game. So this is Breaking Baps. Although they didn't win their group, by God, they did win the award for the tournament records. Right? These guys have got the longest and shortest match of the tournament somehow, and with an average match length of 44 minutes, they've essentially halved and doubled this on different occasions. Only falling victim to a particularly brutal Too Hot for Dota lineup, constructed entirely around dismantling a team early, and that's the only reason that they lost this 20-minute game. Other than that, they've been pretty consistently taking games later and later, and this time they managed to take a game off Black Country Widows with Lance Valentine, like we were talking about earlier. They managed to secure it.
Yeah, I can't remember if I cast that game. I want to say I possibly did, but maybe not. But I cast a 20-minute game, and the 20-minute game was. Am I right in which game this was? Was this the? No, because they picked they've got a Tide Hunter. Yeah, this was the first game against Baps. This wasn't because their second game, Too Hot for Dota versus Breaking Baps. They agree. Did they? Who am I thinking of? No, I'm thinking of the wrong game. Don't mind me. Moving on. There was a game where the two teams agreed to play only heroes that hadn't been picked yet in the second game.
Yes,
but I believe that was Bad Lads versus Tit Warblers off the top of my head.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think that's correct. But quick shout out here to said Hep, Treant Protector. I believe up there is one of the top kill involvement heroes of the tournament. I could be wrong there, but it was at the time. Like he did some great work on that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a look at both of these games individually and try and kind of
I remember what this Too Hot for Dota Breaking Baps game was. This was the game where there was 4 or 5 kills onto Baps in before the runes.
Sounds
it was
sounds
insane.
About right.
Sorry.
Now we'll kind of dissect the games via stats and try and tell a statistical story.
So this is the longest game. Can I just quickly say as a stream note, the channel point redemptions are on. I haven't turned them off, but they are not active on the stream. The overlay is not active, so that we don't have all the interrupting sounds. So if you redeem them, that's on you now. I've told you.
This is the longest game. You got Breaking Baps on the left, Black Country Widows on the right. The final score of this game was 60-52, and they eventually came out on top due to a mix of two things. You had the support play from the Clockwork that we spoke about, and from Heretic on the Ogre doing really, really well, and then that favorable core matchup. It's that Drow, that 58k net worth Drow Ranger. What the fuck is that? Like, even in an 80-minute game, 58,000 gold.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a hell of a lot of gold. I think that shows why the win went the way it did.
Yeah, and this is what you were saying. If Drow gets enough
gold, Drow wins the game. Yeah, and that's interesting going into a Luna, but I think we've seen time and time again in the group stage, Luna struggles to farm.
Yes. And really, she shouldn't because of the kind of nature of the hero. But the problem with Luna, especially into a hero like Drow, is range. Luna is such a short-ranged range hero, and Drow will hit her from way before she can even think about hitting her back.
Right.
And you saw this, and the Wyvern as well. Really high range. Underlord, fantastic at just sitting at the front, soaking up damage, keeping him there.
Along with the Clockwork.
Yeah, and you've got Ogre to just throw in magic damage, stuns, slows, like multicast hexes, all kinds of stuff. And yeah, this is like, you just see how eventually the draft came together. They managed to ride out this kind of early Black Country Widows aggression coming out from the Bristleback, the Mirana, the Willow. They managed to ride out, and eventually they just took over the game, and they couldn't stand up.
Is this the only Drow pick in the tournament?
No, there's been 3.
Oh, there's been 3. Okay, I think I did cast this game. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm working it out in my head. There's been too many games at this point. But I remember shouting about the Glacier on the Drow. I'm pretty sure that. But yeah, the Clockwork, such a value hero, and Drow just in a long game is going to dominate.
Yeah, and I think we'll click on. This is just kind of an overview of the builds. It becomes if you take a little look, the thing that jumps out at me, maybe why they might have won this game, look down at Wellen. Man's got 3 items in 80 minutes. Like,
yeah, that's rough. I mean, what was the kill? What was the deaths on? 13 deaths. I mean, you got 13 deaths on the Overlord, but I guess you're not farming on that +5. So
13k net worth in 80 minutes. Do you want to do the maths on that, or should I? Like, that is.
Oh, it's not good. It's not good.
So eventually, you kind of end up with this 4v5 matchup, effectively, because unfortunately, Willow. I mean, at 80 minutes, you'd expect a Willow to have an Axe, a Dragonlance, and like I don't know, maybe a Rapier and a Moonshard, and she'd just be like throwing damage out and winning the fights that way.
Yeah,
but just didn't manage to secure the transition, and you can see how Black Country Widows, although we were saying they might be really scary, especially into that early mid to sort of slightly late game. Take them longer than that with the right build lineup, you can just dismantle them.
Yeah, it's
the shortest
really...
game.
I apologize. I think we're going to have to do stats in 2 parts at this point. Otherwise, we're going to have a knock-on effect into the schedule that's going to be a problem. We've got space. We can fit it in later.
We're almost done.
Are we? Okay.
So
we'll stick at it.
Shortest game.
What have I done?
Is just the one between Too Hot for Dota and Bounce again. Like you said, just completely dominated it. Never even in doubt. Won every single lane. No questions. If you look at the next slide, we've got the kind of the roundup of the items. So, two of the players on Vaps couldn't even get past boots. Lion didn't have boots until 10 minutes. Like, this is a sad game to watch. Said Hep on the Trian didn't need more than his shard, and he was just doing so much. And then if you click one more time, we'll have a look at
the work on the. Does this? I clicked.
Fades to black, and then you might need to click again.
Ah, it's fancy now.
Yeah, this is why. This is why the game was so rough. 26-1.
Yeah, 20.
That's what you
yes.
get.
So, but if you, I know we don't have it, but the time period for these kills. So. Obviously, it goes so far up. So just looking at this map here, if you can see my cursor, well, I don't know if you can. But what happened was the Baps came in pretty aggressive, like as they should. Looking at their team, that's the invading team.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's a lot of stuns on both. The Clockwork comes up, great cogs. Stun comes in from the Sven. And then a stun just came out from the Slardar from Leth and stunned, I think, 3 of the heroes. The Lion stun then came in. But while this whole fight was coming off, trapped between the cogs and some trees where nobody could really get in to help their team or to kill the enemy team, that entire time Bassmaster is just throwing through poison clouds on the Shadow Demon. And the amount of damage that came out from that Shadow Demon in just in that small period of time was insane. And it just absolutely massacred Baps. And then they were just trying to run away and just couldn't get out. And it was the gold swing that I think it was like a K gold swing before runes came out. It was insane.
The trouncing was really real.
It was so unfortunate for Baps. It was a rough couple of games for them, and this was where I was saying earlier about Too Hot for Dota just turning it around and coming out as such a strong team by the end of the group stage. They'd been all over the place for like their first through 2 games, and then they came into this, and it was a different team that showed up. It was insane, like. In terms of like, if you wanted to have a comeback or most improved team of the tournament so far, I'd definitely give it to Too Hot for Dota because it's night and day. It was ridiculous.
I'd 100% agree with that. But yeah, that's our roundup. That's our stats. I hope you all enjoyed that. I was talking for about an hour there. I think probably.
No, that's brilliant. That was so good in so much more depth than I was actually expecting, and genuinely phenomenal. Great stuff to talk about. We're all right though. I've rearranged some stuff, so we're good now. I didn't realize we were so close to the end when I called it. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. The longest and shortest games, I cast them both.
There you go. You've had the pick of the tournament. You're covering all your bases.
I've had a great time. What can I say? I've just been loving life over here. But no, I mean, I think it is impressive. I know there was discussion on like what information we had so far from the group stage. And I know some people thought we didn't necessarily have enough to go off in terms of like a stats roundup. And you've done a phenomenal job there, Banana, I have to say, especially in a short period of time. Like,
this was all yesterday evening. I was kind of clutching at straws. Had a late dinner.
It's okay. None of the guests got a request to come on the show until like yesterday. So the announcement didn't go up until 5 o'clock yesterday. But no, I think definitely. I mean, I also think that if your captain hasn't watched this, then they need to watch the VOD and just of the stats roundup, because that's there's some good information on some teams there. That's free
you
coaching.
And I are both captains, so we'll.
Yeah, it's actually what this is for. We've held back a bunch of information just so that Banana and our teams can do slightly better. I've got my bands sorted out for.
But literally anyone that I talked about, there you go.
Well, I've definitely got them sorted out for OGs if we end up coming up against them, but we have to wait for the outcome of Sit Out versus OGs happening tonight, I want to say.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are there 3 games on tonight?
There are a bunch of games on tonight. So just while we've got a bit of time before we lead into the exhibition match coming up, GDoe will be joining us later now. Yeah, what games are on tonight? Have you got them?
So tonight we have Stessy's Ultrators versus Bad Lads at 7 p.m. UK time, streamed by Kieran the Wise. There's LLL Cubed versus Granny's Cookies at 7:30, streamed by Toffee. And we have OGs versus Sit Out at 7:45 by Scotty Boy. So we've
Excellent.
got 3 games.
So much Dota. So much Goonternational today. Yeah, I will point out, anyone who is expecting LLL Cubed versus Granny's Cookies to be here at the end of the show, I will be sending all of you who are still here at that point over to Toffee, who will now be taking over the stream for me, as I'm a little bit worse for wear. Not hungover, just, a little under the weather. So what was looking at an 8-hour stream, I thought I should maybe not do today. As we discovered last night that best of 3s can go a long time.
I don't blame you. I mean, I'm already in for a long night of talking, but we'll see how we go.
I tell you what, I'm going to load up Dota now, and we're going to get on over to our exhibition match. So to get the hype going, I mentioned it earlier, we've got the one and only Bird. I know there's some Bird stands around, versus the big boys Supes. I think whether or not they're Dota powerhouses, I feel like they're social powerhouses of the Goonternational. They pop up everywhere that I see, and I've decided in my head that they will be pitted against each other, and I'm making it a rivalry.
Can you stream this into the Discord so I can watch it?
Yeah, no, you can just jump in on Dota.
Oh, perfect. I need to boot Dotes then.
No,
I will also need to disappear at some point for my HelloFresh away, but we'll find an opportune moment for that one.
Well, once we get in the lobby, maybe you can jump out while we do the drafting or something. Now, Bird should have set up a lobby for me, as I am incompetent and didn't want to have to do that myself. Oh, there we go. I've got right. I will get you in the lobby, Webinana, and then we will be good to go. Let me just get rid of...
I'm just booting up notes at the minute.
This graphic. Right. So interestingly, I love how we've got yeah. We've got Bird representing his team of Bad Lads. Supes recently did join a team officially, I believe. Who did he join? I believe he's joined Baps, I want to say, after they lost Tom, 68-inch pianist. And then we've got Supes representing Supercunts tonight. I think he's missed a trick there. He could have had the Supercuts logo.
There's been some shifting going around, hasn't there?
Yeah. I mean, we've had a strange transfer window in the Goonternational between the group stage and the main series, and I didn't expect it to happen. But yeah, there's people flying all over the place, it seems.
Never before seen mid-tournament transfers.
Oh God, they're really leaning into this. Bird with Soup sucks, and Soup saying, "Suck my testes, Bird. You milk guzzling piss stain."
This is what I'm here for. This is the kind of thing that I love.
Yeah, I mean, there's been people who've joined lobbies with, joined stacks with me, and I've said, "Oh, by the way, I'm streaming." And they've said, "Oh, well, it's your TOS that you're risking." I'm saying this out loud, so that just kind of goes. TOS ain't gonna do shit. TOS is for like, you know, isms and obics.
Yeah, we don't do any of that.
If you get my gist, exactly. Yeah, asking if everyone's ready. I think we're ready to go. 1v1. So it'll be a 1v1 solo mid. We're going to be doing a best of 5. So let's hope we can fit this all in. If we can't fit it in, it'll drop down to a best of 3. But it should be a best of 5, and I'm excited to see what comes out of this.
Absolutely, I cannot wait.
Also, this is going to be my casting for the week now, so after I'm not doing tonight's game, so we get to see how this goes.
Well, once we get in, I'll love you and leave you, and I'll go and put some stuff in the fridge really quick.
I think we're just waiting on Bird to be ready. I mean, if you can go do that now if you want, and then you might make it back for the draft. Who knows?
Oh, amazing! I'm back in a second.
Not sponsored by HelloFresh once again, but apparently Banana's a fan. So if you're interested in HelloFresh, speak to Banana. I'm sure he'll tell you how it is. In the meantime, I will set up a prediction for who will win game 1. We've got Supes or Bird. What's the timing on this? Let's do 5 minutes. So you might not even see the heroes by the time that we get into it, but there's your prediction, chat. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to actually see which way the prediction goes on this. Not sure if is Bird ready? I know Supes is ready. Should I send him a message? Oh, lobby issue apparently.
Very quickly, guys, can you just leave the casting channel for me?
Sure.
Let's join any other channels like the lobby or anything like that.
Okie dokie. You will have lost Banana temporarily, but he's not there anyway. I don't know why Supes needs us out. He's now just in with Banana.
In the game, you pillock. Leave the casting channel.
Oh!
It's not letting me set it as enabled.
What do you mean not letting you set it as enabled? I can't get Banana out of the mode. Yeah.
Gameplay rules are showing the spectators as disabled, and it's not letting me swap it to enabled.
I can't get Banana out right now. I'll go back to the channel with Banana. Yeah, okay, all right.
I can. I'll just kick him.
Right, we will need to get into the broadcast channel though, so I assume you're able to change that.
It's not letting me do it.
Do we need to set up a new? Do you want me to set one up?
Yeah, we'll have to set up a new lobby. Fuck's sakes.
That's all right. No worries. I promised everyone absolute dogshit production, so I think that's just spot on. I tell you what, I'll create one. See if I can manage that. Right. Edit. What do we need? We need 1v1 solo mid. Lobby password. You don't get to see it, stream. That's how that works. Public. Let's do. Oh, I don't think we need that. Starting team. No penalty. Don't fill empty slots with bots. Spectators enabled. Yeah, that's fine. Series type, no series, no penalty. Okay. Right, that should be fine. I can invite you in. I should also be able to invite Bird and Banana. You don't have a coordinator issue?
We're still on connection to the Dota 2 game coordinator.
Oh no. If this all gets completely kaput by the fucking Dota 2 coordinator.
I'll try and... I can't even fucking decline. Jesus Christ. Let me restart Dokes.
I should have just asked GDoe to set up the lobby, to be fair. Like, GDoe's an expert in this at this point. they'd have had it easily. not like us. I didn't want to put any more pressure on GDoe in terms of creating lobbies, so I didn't want to have them faffing about with all of this. If it, do you know what I mean? When it's going to be nothing. So I was like, no, we can manage this amongst ourselves. It'll be absolutely fine. Bird is DDoSing you. Oh. I think it was possibly that just an issue of like editing the settings after the fact or something. But I mean, Supes is now dying. Right, Supes. I'm gonna jump back in the other channel with Banana.
Yep.
All right. Banana is still not here, but I will show you Banana's empty chair. Ooh la la, so fancy. Let's do this, and then. Don't mind me. I'm just resizing windows on the fly. So good. Such great production. There we go. That will be good enough. Can we balance that black bar out a bit? Oh, we can indeed. There we go. See, beautiful, beautiful. Doing great. It's a chair. It's a lovely chair at that as well. Right, we got Supes. We just need Banana now. The problem is now that he's gone to put his food away. We added him in the channel, and now he's not in the channel, and it's all good, though. Let's actually just check that we've got these settings right. 1v1 solo mid. Everybody's in the lobby, other than Banana. Spectators enabled. TV delay we don't care about, because nobody's watching it on that. Or do we care about that? No, it always has to have a delay, so I'm assuming that's just if you want to watch in Dota, which nobody's going to do. That would be weird. No penalty, league, none, starting team random, manual. Is that going to cause a problem? Starting team random? I assume they're on a thing. I guess you could stream it to him on the Discord if you have to. I could, to be fair. I could. What the fuck is Immortal Draft? Choose one player to be captain of each... Why did they change that to Immortal Draft? Why isn't it Captain's Draft? Interesting. I guess I will just share my screen to him for the first one, and we will get underway. We'll give him 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're underway. Let's start this game. Exhibition, ahoy! Right. Oh, see, he shows up 5 seconds. Sod's fucking law. He's got a nice Aspels, though. I can tell by the bottle. 5 seconds too late. I'm streaming to the Discord for you.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Should have a nice quick draft, though. I think most have gone for... There's a lot of bird stands in the chat, so I'm hoping Supes can pull something out. Oh my god! They've both picked Shadow Fiend!
Hilarious.
Oh, love to see it. I see you're rocking an Aspels now. Lovely to see.
Yes, yeah. I just kind of had a look at the bottle shelf and picked out whatever I could find.
Excellent, excellent cider choice. My... Oh god, that's going to be way too long a sentence to say. But someone I know works at Aspels.
Oh, lovely.
So I may or may not be getting some Aspels for Christmas. We'll have to wait and see. Right, both on the Shadow Fiend then. This is going to be interesting.
It's going to be so dull. No exciting spell.
Yeah, I think I was kind of hoping with two support players that we'd maybe see like a... There we go. Getting my cast on. There we go. Look at me. Oh, I know what I'm doing. Oh, it puts... Fuck. The number... It doesn't put them on the right numbers because it counts all these empty slots as players. So Supes is on one. So we've got Supes on the Radiant rocking a Shadow Fiend. And over on the Dire side, we've got Bird also rocking a Shadow Fiend.
Am I seeing double?
Now, I did consider getting them coaches or doing a thing where whoever loses the first game can have a coach the next game. And then if they win that game, they're not allowed their coach for the game after. So if we do have any coaches or any divine or up players who want to get in on the action and want to coach Bird or Supes in game 2, whoever loses, then drop a message in chat, and if I don't see that, drop a message to me in Discord or something, and we'll see what we can do. If nobody wants to do it, then nobody does it. Although if anybody coaches one of them negatively, there will be no penalizing actions, but we can pretend.
I reckon we should do. If they can pick the same thing, I reckon we go for Pudge Wars next game.
Why's my mouse showing on stream? It shouldn't be. I mean, game starts, no runes, it's mid only. I think Bird didn't actually expect that, whereas Supes was aware. But I thought Supes was going to block, but he's abandoned his block to go and put a spray down on the mid lane under the tower.
Maybe he's banking on a Bird block. Just send the wave under tower. But not quite, it just ends up in a perfect place for Bird.
Quickly just make... I don't know why it's capturing my cursor. Oh my god, we've just got a battle of the Shadow Razors going on immediately.
Bird not quite figuring
Bird's
out the difference between his Q and his E.
Bird taking time to type here.
Supes double mango. Bird's going to walk in. Supes is going to get a long raise, and then he's going to...
Yeah, I mean, Bird definitely hanging back here. You're just trying to heal up a bit. I mean, difference in starting items. Tangos, but also a mango and a stick. I mean, I think the stick is a huge pickup. Full wand, though, on Bird, so... Oh, Supes wants it. Supes wants it. The damage is so equal, you know if you can win the man fight. First blood goes to Supes.
Yeah, Supes uses the mid raise, hits him with the short raise, and instead of walking through him or around him or off to the side like you probably should, Bird just walks straight back towards his tower. Supes is waiting, hits him with a long raise. Easy as you like.
There we go. I've worked out what number they're both on now.
Is it like 1 and 6 or something weird
It's,
like that?
it's 1 and 6. That is correct, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what are we looking at? So, Supes currently with nothing. I mean, Supes with a skin here. I think is Bird on default skin. I think that's right.
That is an Arcana for Bird, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
I mean, they're very fancy.
That's the Arcana.
Supes nothing queued up, not bought boots. Maybe just saving it for a bottle, but not having it queued. Whereas on the other side, queuing straight into treads and then a Mask of Madness.
Surely you just buy loads of mangoes and you just try and triple raise. Like, is that... Am I being a bit of a lunatic if I say that?
No, I don't think necessarily.
Mangoes coming.
And I think also a reminder that mid only is first tower, or I think it's 3 kills, I want to say. I think chat said 2, but I think it's 3.
Oh.
Oh, no. We've got multiple people in chat saying 2, so who knows? I mean, this is the thing. Mid-only is a very different game to play than a normal game of Dota.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're not worried about late game. You just buy early damage items or something and you can get the kills. Oh, Supes really going in, but Bird's got a lot of damage out. Supes gets the mana up. Both looking low. It's a man fight of right clicks. Bird once isn't enough. High ground mischance, but he takes another hit. He's 1 hit from death. Supes coming up. The evasion from the high ground advantage. I can't believe it. Supes gonna salve up. Only tangos. Boots coming out though for Bird, but a Boot's gonna help him here.
I think Supes has the right idea. You just
Uphill
spam
missing
mana,
Joes,
right? And as soon
definitely.
as your triple raises off cooldown, you just slap him with it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that's the way to go. I can't believe they picked the same hero here. I do think in mid-only you get to see what your opponent picks if they pick.
Yeah, I would be surprised if there wasn't some kind of cahoots going on.
Well, they've made an agreement to pick the same hero every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's an interesting idea. Maybe what we should have done is random to hero, and they both have to have the same hero.
Or maybe like the first game, they do a little coin toss. Bird picks the first hero, and Supes has to match it, and then Supes picks the second one, and Bird has to match it.
Maybe the loser gets to pick the hero they have to play the next game.
Oh, that's a good shout.
We could do all of these. The 1v1 mid-only Chen.
You can't spawn in this mode?
Supes. No. But Chen doesn't need camps anymore. Supes looking low. He does use the full one now. It's a right click off though. Bird once.
He didn't use the short raise. He had a short raise off corner.
No.
He didn't use it.
Oh, Supes, my guy. It's a kill each. It's even Stevens.
Oh my god. He's going to come back and long raise Bird once. It's
I mean,
be
Supes
so
playing very aggressive. Is Bird just going to back to heal? He doesn't have any regen on him. So playing into the Shadow Fiend, it just seems risky. I mean,
Supes, man. All he had to do was press his Q and he had it.
Bird also picking himself up a Blightstone and infused raindrops. It is magic damage, yeah. Just checking for myself.
Is a good pickup.
Raindrops are falling on his head, and will they save him? Is we yet to be seen. Bird is going to back off to heal. I think the right move.
Yeah.
I feel he should have maybe done it while Supes was down though.
I don't know. I think while Supes is down, he gets an entire wave uncontested free farm, right? But then he's so
true.
low,
But then he gives the same thing to Supes, doesn't he? So
yeah.
Honestly, am I insane for thinking like Russia are Yules here?
There's definitely an argument for it. I don't know. I think
mana
raises
regen,
are the way to
movement
go,
speed.
right?
Like, oh no, yeah. But I think you either go just early mana and raise the shit out of them. Oh, he is ulting. He is going to get an ult off. Doesn't do much though. Ult coming back from Supes does cancel it. Yeah, I was more thinking you get him in the air and you just run in and ult them when they come down and then maybe get off a few raises. I mean, I'm not a Shadow Fiend enjoyer myself. If anything, I'm a Shadow Fiend hater.
Note, they both skilled the Soul's passive attack speed buff thing, which is normally something that you would not skill until like you've got nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, interesting, because so much damage coming out from the Shadow Rays.
Look at the guide note on it.
Oh my god, the chase. Supes chasing down Bird. Bird very low on mana. Supes doesn't do anything. Yeah, I mean, by not skilling Rays, what are you losing? Like an extra 70 damage. It's pretty
That
big.
Feast of Souls is just, I mean, the top line of the guide note sums up: skip this garbage ability and get stats. Like, it's just so bad.
Yeah, but also 70 damage across 3 raises. That's 210 damage for a hero that only has 900 health at the moment.
Yeah. You're giving out for free, basically.
I mean, I wonder if we'll actually see a tower go down or something. Bird calling out the poor player. I would say anything that is within the realm of Dota is acceptable here. Like, neither of them are actually able to cheat as long as they're both playing like themselves on their own PC. Everything's within the rules, Bird.
Agreed.
Other than maybe watching the stream. Maybe we shouldn't watch the stream right now, but I guess they're not getting a huge advantage. Neither of them are farming secretly in the jungle, so I guess stream sniping's not really a thing here. Boots now coming out onto Supes. Full treads, and he's going to get some more tangos at 8 minutes on
missed the first raise, and his third.
We might have to, I think we're going to have to limit this to a best of 3, by the way, guys. Given how it's going so far. I'm going to call that out while it's pretty equal, so that there's no issues there. But given that the first game is already almost at 10 minutes. Oh, Bird very low, but no mana left on Supes there.
It's the second time that Supes has whiffed one of these raises that would have meant that he got the kill, I think.
Honestly, the tower damage here, like, will we see a tower go down before the next kill comes out?
There's a DD bot. If he picks it up, he very well could.
Ooh, I mean, I feel like we haven't seen a lot of play for runes. I mean, no bottles on either of them. Like,
I'm not even thinking to check it. No way Bird doesn't see it, because he's got the obstacle.
No, Bird is going to go. He is low on health, though,
and
so...
Supes is going to use all of his mana to
Bird
raise the
does now have range drops. Why has he used his mana? AD, obviously, now affecting magic, affecting spells as well, I think I'm correct in saying.
Yeah. Bird's going to hit like a truck if he can just get himself into the right position to do so.
I'm not sure he can, though. Both level 8. Pretty similar. Bird actually slightly ahead in terms of XP, but, I mean, nothing huge. Should we have a look at the last hits? I can't tell you who's... Oh, no, I can. Radiant and Dire. So 43 last hits on Supes. So more last hits on Supes, but net worth-wise also goes to Supes.
Oh,
no! Bird, no! I was looking at the gold. Bird, my guy.
They both decided to
Game
walk into
one
each other and
goes to
channel an ult.
Supes. All right, chat. Do we want to keep it as? Do we want to keep it same hero? Do we want to make him do that? We can do it. We have the power. Oh my god! I mean, terrible supporting from both of them. Can we look at the damage? Like, who actually did more damage? Hero damage. Yeah, so much damage from Supes. So much
Can we
damage.
do a quick vote with the chat who they should play next?
Do you realize how many heroes there are? We can just get them all to...
Yeah, but realistically, they're going to suggest like one of 5 names, aren't
I'll
they?
tell you what. Everybody just type a hero. Type the hero you want them to play. And if I think I see a lot of one of them, we'll get them to play that hero.
Well,
Clock,
that's immediately
Meepo,
I saw
Techies.
2 of the names that I thought would appear. Meepo and Techies, it has to be.
Would you mind setting up in a lobby quickly?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, cheers. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Meepo again, Ricky. If we make him do Meepo, it's going to be hell. Dusk. Shadow Fiend is the worst hero. Come on, guys, hero suggestions. I think Meepo currently winning. Techies in second place on the most questionable poll ever. Pudge, Pudge would be so good. Meepo, Pudge, Clock, Huskar, Pudge. Right, Meepo versus Pudge. Right, I'm gonna set up a poll for Meepo versus Pudge. Which hero? Meepo or Pudge? Right. You know what? I'm going to allow additional votes for 10 potatoes. It's only going to last a minute, though, chat. So get on it. Get on that shit. By the way, doing a poll in chat for what hero you both have to play. I feel this isn't what they signed up to, but it is what they're getting. Right, while we quickly sort this out and you guys vote in the poll, I am actually going to quickly run out to the bathroom. We're going to have a short intermission. So I will be right back. Or we will be right back, I should say. That's the better way to say it. Do you want me to leave you on? You can chat to chat.
You can do if you want.
Yeah,
I'm happy to talk.
You vamp. You're not on camera at the moment, but yeah.
Amazing. I can keep eating
chat
my
to
peanuts in
I'll be
peace.
right back.
How are we finding it so far, people? We enjoying it? Oh, what a day. Honestly, I've had such a day. I hope you've all had a nice day. Hope everyone's doing well. Had a nice weekend. Looking forward to Monday tomorrow. And there we have it. Pudge wins the poll. I think if you're going to pick anyone for a 1v1 solo mid, obviously SF is the classic, but Pudge offers easily the most enjoyment, right? Pudge actually won the poll in Mexico. Sorry, it's not Mexico this week, is it? It's Sao Paulo, Interlagos. Beat out Verstappen by about 20 seconds. Shocked everyone. Haas now has... now is actually leading the Constructors' Championship because Pudge pulled off an incredible hook. Yeah, really crazy stuff. Crazy scenes at Interlagos, actually. Surprised you hadn't heard about it sooner. Yeah, I think Bird might get a poll. What am I talking about? Bird might get a coach. Do we have anyone that's willing to coach Bird? Anyone that's kind of feeling like they're of suitable rank to be able to throw in a coach?
I'm back, by the way. Yeah, if we can get a coach. To be honest,
so Pudge has been chosen.
I think if we're I think if we're putting them on a hero of our choice, I think we should maybe give them both coaches. So surely we can get 2 coaches. We'll take we'll take anything ancient and above. Oh, just looking at it in the poll, is by the way, Supes had 67% and Bird 33 in the poll. Interesting. I honestly thought the Bird stands were going to come out. Also, Bird technically a higher rank. Like, maybe we're gonna see how good a value that good value a Goon Supes is.
Supes, I think, is a pretty good value Goon.
Well, I tell you what, guys. I mean, Bird and Supes are currently in the lobby together. If hang on, I'll go check 1 sec. Guys?
Yeah, keep us in here. This will be fucking carnage. Bring the coaches in.
I feel like we should maybe put everybody in here. Do you want coaches?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, bring them in here though. It'd be fucking funny.
We've had an offer of Hunter CK for I don't know who for, but for one of you.
Yeah, I think he'll be
Oh
coaching
shit!
me.
I shouldn't be laughing so much.
Okay,
I can hear me.
for Bird. No CK, not happy. I tell you what, if you want to coach one of them, come jump in the lobby in the Discord, and it's up to these guys, I guess, if they want to all stay in one lobby together with the coaches as well. Or I feel like you guys should go into separate lobbies with your coaches. Hunter's in. Hunter, who are you here to coach?
Hunter, I need help.
I'm here for bird support.
Okay, you're here for Bird. Okay, do we have a coach for Supes?
Here we go.
Somebody come get in this. Oh no, that was Banana dropping
gonna
in.
be my coach.
Oh yeah, I'll coach you, Supes.
Yeah.
Right, shall we go to the second lobby then?
Sorry, are you getting Hunter? I know are the casters coaching Supes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
All right, I guess Bird and
After
Hunter,
all-
you should
Right,
go to
we'll
your
leave,
privacy.
we'll
Yeah,
leave.
and we'll.
Yeah.
Can you? I don't.
Oh, we
Supes,
can't actually.
can you jump
We
up
could
into
just
the
go to another
Supes?
random
Supes can
chat.
jump up into the channel above. We'll go up. We'll go up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, is this 2 people only? No, it's 3. You jumped in before, didn't you?
Yeah.
But Banana, you coming up? Oh, he's moved now.
He's
Sorry.
moved.
You moved just when I came to get you.
I know. I moved.
Right, let's get
just
this
note-
underway then.
Just so it's fair, you can't mention any obs. Yeah, any obs or sentries that he's placed down or anything like that.
Oh no,
'cause
no,
you
we
might
won't.
not
We
see it.
won't. We won't do that. We won't do that.
Yeah, we won't say anything.
We're
Well,
just
you
here to
could
get your
join-
side. I'm gonna
You
just
could
say
join the
what's going
coach's
on
channel.
a lot of the time.
You could join the coach's channel so you can see.
All right, I'll join the coach's channel because Falcus has got the obs, so I'll sit in the coach's channel.
I'll tell you
So
what.
I'll
I'll tell you
only be
what.
able to see your pod.
I'll dip out in a second. I'll just cast and Banana can coach you. How's that?
Mhm.
Yeah. This isn't my lobby. I can't start it.
Are we all good to go?
Or do we want to swap? Do we want to swap sides, or do we happy keeping Radiant dying?
I
Does it
don't think
matter
it
in
makes
a
a big.
1v1
I don't think it makes a big difference
really.
in 1v1 mid. So I think we'll leave it.
It fucking helps my blocking, even though I don't block, but still, not the point.
You good to go, Supes?
That's the point. It's
Yeah,
easier
let's
to
do
block
this.
without accidentally clicking your minimap. So. All right. I guess I'll.
Settings.
Right.
How
You're
do I
both.
make it watchable?
You're both playing Pudge, by the way.
Yep.
I'm trying to make it a watchable lobby, but it's not letting me.
Oh, have you,
You
got
have the same
spectator
issue.
set? I think it's because
I
if
had
you
the
set
same
it up
issue.
before the channel is made, that's probably the issue. Can you change it if I jump out and delete the channel?
No, it didn't let me. It didn't let me do
The
it.
settings. I don't even know where it would be.
So in your settings, basically, that's the
This is
second
the-
row in the advanced options.
There's a
It's the
production
top one
value
of
you all
that,
signed up for.
but it keeps automatically toggling back to disabled, even when you set it.
Okay,
to
try
enable.
again, Falcus.
Oh, sorry. Oh, did we get Pudge, by the way? I didn't actually check the poll.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you, chat, by the way, because fuck Meepo.
Oh, what the fuck? It keeps saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to remake the lobby. It's
And
fine.
Remake.
Do you want me to make one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You might
my
have to.
settings are already good, so I can just invite you to the lobby. Invite to lobby. Problem is, I don't actually have a bunch of you on my friends list. I keep having to go to. Hang on, where's Bird?
There you go.
Bird, invite to lobby.
It's different P-Flax chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm having to do. Right, and then we need Where Banana and Hunter.
I typed in flags for you.
Got you. Hunter, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. That's right. I know my alphabet.
If Hunter's not showing up, I can invite him.
I think I've got him.
Yeah, you got him.
Right, questionable coaches for everybody, and I'll be on the cast. So let's take it away. Pudge only. Right,
Let's
good
go.
luck. Just a reminder, guys, Pudge only, and good luck.
Pudge only.
Sound good.
Okay, you've got me for the cast, and me alone, because there was a point out that it is a bit unfair if I'm casting over the top of Supes, and I just don't want to do that to him. Don't want to do that to the boy. Now, the real question here is skins, because skins mean wins. Right, let's get this prediction up and going. I really need more mods for this. I only need more mods for Goonternational. Like, that's kind of the stupid thing. Supes or Bird? So, Bird with a glorious skin, to be fair. I like how I said I need more mods, and then one of my mobs subscribed. Thanks, Vortex. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, Bird with the British Pudge. Why are you putting a big L in my name? What did I do? It's not a huge L. We're doing a great job. Yeah, the sass.
Let's do this.
Why am I... There we go. Right, Supes versus Bird Pudge only. Oh, it's weird being alone for the cast. I'm not used to it. Oh, I feel lonely on stream, but at least I got chat with me. God, why am I Falcus L now? What have I done? God. What did I... I didn't fat finger anything, did I? Yeah, I'm trying, boys. I'm trying. Right, what have we got item-wise? Tangos, obviously, Iron Branch, and Gauntlets of Strength. I feel like you definitely want the mangoes. You want to be able to hook, and you don't want to be stopped hooking. So 3 mangoes coming out on Supes. I think that's a good shout. And then a salve. I think the stats are less value here, to be honest. Like, you want to hook, and then you want to get rot. Like, you're not going to be building up a lot of flesh heap, so... Oh, you fat thing. Okay, all right. Okay. See, the nice thing is I talk to chat more when I'm on my own, I guess. Chat, you're my co-caster for this game. So, do a good job. Or you'll be fired. Oh my god, the sound changes if you go back and forth. That's brilliant. I've never noticed that before. Supes not looking for a block at all. To be honest, I think you want the creeps under your tower on this. So you want a block. Yeah, that's where I want. Can I resign? No, not happening. Oh my god, why is Supes... He's putting a spray down again, isn't he? He takes a tower hit for it, though. Cocky little Supes here. Who's going to get the first hook, though? That's the big question. Actually, we do have a skin on Supes, by the way. It didn't show up in the at the end of the draft, but he does have a skin. A very fancy skin. I don't know which skin this is, but it's the... Is it an Arcana with the hooks coming out the back? I don't have either of these skins, actually, and I'm a Pudge enjoyer. But all my skins are classic skins from the good old days of pre... I don't know, most of my skins are probably pre-2018. I went through an item trading phase in Dota and traded a bunch of items for different skins and such. Got a bunch of Rubik items from it. My full Rubik set was all traded for. Same with Bristleback, actually. They're all very old ones. Kana equals free L. We wait to see. Oh, the hook goes out! Narrowly missed. Definitely a hitbox thing. There are some times when you're playing Pudge that you throw the hook and you just hope that it clips the edge of the hitbox. And sometimes it just doesn't. Or sometimes it clips the edge of the hitbox that you didn't want it to do, i.e. a creep. So it's definitely hanging back here looking for you. I mean, facet-wise, have they both gone the hook facet? They have. I think that's the right facet. I think this is the way better facet. The player's hook. I think to make the other facet, which is the extra strength while you dismember, valuable, it needs to be more strength. I don't think it's enough strength. It doesn't make you like tanky enough during the fight. Getting confirmation from my divine players in chat that it is the better facet, so I'm glad to know I'm right. Oh, a lovely little friendly high five. You love to see it. I'm interested to know how much the coaches are helping here. I guess you could find that out after. Didn't both facets get mega nerfed? I'm not sure, actually. Hook goes out, hits a creep. Distance damage. I don't think this one got massively nerfed. Could be wrong, though. Last hit wise. Ooh, last hit's definitely going the way of Bird here. Oh, they're in for a rock battle. Now, this is the thing when you're in a 1v1, especially at this stage in the game. Did a little hook go out from Bird there? No? Where did all that damage come from? Did he hook? I need the fight recap. No, no abilities used. They just rotted. Damage done. Exact. Oh my god. Why is it saying they both died? Oh, the game's confused because they're both Pudge, I think. Hook comes out from Bird, but is it going to be a bad hook? Because Supes in there. Supes hooked straight afterwards. Both on the rot now. Oh my god, the fairy fire. It's huge. The win goes to Supes. No, sorry, to Bird. I meant Bird. Oh my god. But what a fucking game. What a game from, but that fairy fire. Huge. Oh. Insane. Insane. Well played. Well played.
Fucking hate Pudge.
Can you drop down a lobby for me? Drop down a lobby. Oh, what a game.
We're God gamers on over here.
That fairy fire. That fairy fire was something else.
It's so good.
1-1.
Oh, it's all to play for. I think we go back to the chat. Did Supes not use Meat Shield? Did you use Meat Shield in that last fight?
No, I
Either
didn't
of you?
have it skilled.
I didn't have it level.
Level 3. Did you have it skilled, Bird?
Yeah. Yes.
Ah, did you pop the Meat Shield?
Yeah, I popped the Meat
Oh,
Shield.
God.
Because I was so low. Like, I was like, Hunter was like, you've hooked him, he's on top of you, he's going to kill you. And I just popped the Meat Shield. I was like, I'm just all in here.
The hook seemed questionable.
The extra
Like,
level saved him.
it's a great hook, but it was one of those times that, I mean, I feel like most people when they play Pudge, you just want to hit a hook. So even if the hook kills you, you're like, I hit the hook.
I was just thinking, like, I knew he was going to TP in, and I was like, if I can just catch him, this is the only time I'm going to probably get a hook.
The blind
when
hook
he's standing
was so
still.
good.
Oh, right. I guess we will go back to the chat. Chat, if you have any suggestions for the hero for the final match, throw them out now. It is 1-1. So I guess it actually comes down to that you could have you could have stands in chat who would throw out a hero that you're good on, but I will point out Supes is in the chat for himself. Love to see it. Ursa suggested Omni. Techies is back. Invoker. Techies gets another vote. Dazzle thrown out by our tournament organizer GDoe. I think Dazzle would be funny, but another vote for Techies. Chen. I don't feel like anyone needs to see more clockwork after how the tournament's going.
Yes,
1 vote for Chen. We got 2 for Invoker, 3 for Techies. Techies looking like it's going to take it.
Techies, I think, is my winner.
Oh no.
Techies would be funny.
Supes throwing out another vote. Fua Io. I like the idea of a 2-mid Io. It might be a bit boring though. Axe spinner Rooney contest. Techies again. Oh, you fucking hell, bananas! Everybody from the streams just in the chat themselves putting out ideas.
You're meant to be on my side here, Banana.
I think Techies would be great for you. Techies could be great.
Maybe Techies is just great for Banana.
So amazing.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me. Techies isn't a skill shot hero.
It's made the new lobby.
He's actually a good shout.
All right, let's get some invites going, and let's get this lobby going. It's looking like Techies. Marcy, couple of shouts. Right, I'm gonna throw up a poll just for the sake of it, but I think I know what it's gonna be. What hero? Techies or Invoker?
Which would you rather, Supes?
I would probably say Invoker.
Which would you rather, Bird?
I can't play either, so doesn't matter.
That's why I would definitely want Invoker.
Right, let's get everyone in the lobby.
Invoker picks. They've gone through the roof.
Oh my god.
I've used all of my potatoes.
Remember, guys, you can get additional votes for 10 potatoes. So if you really want that techies, 32 votes currently for Invoker. I technically have infinite potatoes, so I won't vote. But
oh no! Oh no!
Oh my god! It's spinning back.
No,
oh, here it goes.
No!
Time's running down. I think about 10 to 15 seconds left on the poll.
Oh my god, Techies is gonna
No! You bastards! You fucking bastards!
Oh, the bird stands are in. What do you mean you can't use potatoes in your country, Toms? It's techies.
6 times.
Anyway, I hate you, you bastard!
Oh my god.
Right, guys, are we ready for the techies 1v1? The decider. It is 1-all. Shadow Fiend went the way of Supes. Pudge went the way of Bird. All going to be decided by this techies game. You happy with your coaches, boys?
Of 46 votes.
Okay. We're happy with the coaches. We're happy with the game. The hero's been picked. I guess we go for it. To decide it all. A rivalry to be ended.
Notice how Bird is not repping bad lads in case he loses.
Are you gonna
have that
Come on, Bird. Let's see a team go out here.
All right, yeah. Supes, are you actually gonna block your lane for once, brother? I'm like sitting here.
He's got to get that spray down. It's all about the clout.
All right, no blocking.
All right, good luck, guys. To your channels.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. Chaos.
Come on up.
Have we been dragged? Do we have to move?
You have to move. You have to move yourselves. I can't drag anyone. I'm not special here. I can just leave you guys here. That's fine. Okay, the decider. Oh, thank you very much for starting the prediction. Done on my behalf. Does that mean I can predict if I want? No, I can't. Techies picked on both teams. I don't know if Supes has a skin for this. As we all know, skins mean wins. So no skin is a poor showing. Definitely a poor showing. Oh my god, all the predictions coming out for Bird. Nobody going to stand by Supes. I mean, he has said he didn't want techies. So do you want to be repping the guy who says he can't play the hero? I don't know, but all to be decided here. If Supes has the Arcana, he loses. I mean, it's possible.
Places, everyone.
Right, Bird coming out here on the dire side with a lovely techie skin. Honestly, a pretty typical starting build. Universal hero, so a bit of extra damage on that. Me double checking that it is a universal hero. It is. 55 plus 2. Why can't I switch over? So I can switch that one. Why isn't my 1 working? Is he not on 1? What number is he on? Why is he on 5? Sorry, just caster things here. But weirdly, Supes is on number 5 instead of number 1 now. Oh my god. Heavy into strength, looking to tank some hits. 692 versus 648. So an extra sort of 44 health there. I mean, we'll see how that works out for him. Ward goes down, actually, for Bird there. Interesting to see if that's going to help. He joined the fist. Oh. I mean, I guess it's a little bit easier on my fingers if I remember, but yeah, no skin on Supes. Are we going to see, like, the no skin win? I mean, skins mean wins, so it's always disappointing as a caster in a way when the heroes are drafted and you see someone pick a hero up that they don't have a skin on. You do just think, like, do they play this hero? Although as someone who actively doesn't buy skins, you know, I should know. Chat, you suck. Chat, you're getting called out by Supes. I think you've definitely shown how you feel about it, though, from how the votes have gone in the prediction. I think that unless some last minute went Supes' way, I think everyone's a Bird stand so far. That means that, as I said earlier, to bring balance to the force, I have to root for Supes here. Denies coming out? Denies? We're at that level. We're trying that hard. Bird getting forced back under tower. I mean, techies with the... What facets have we gone? Spleen's secret source and Spleen's secret source. I think that's the right one to go for here because you're not expecting to build a lot of items. But could you have just built a bunch of like Agi or got gloves of haste, got the extra range, and just harassed the hell out of them? If you went for the like attack speed, attack range. I mean, it would be interesting to see, I suppose. I definitely think that it's going to come down to blast-offs, but given that they can both blast off back at each other, this is the deciding game, Squelch. Best of 3 that we're doing. Given that we're quite behind schedule as it is. Oh my god! The blast comes in from Supes. Bird gonna return. Blast comes in. Supes so low! Bombs coming out. Attacks come out. Supes gonna fall. Bird takes first blood. I mean, first blood? It's a lot of bonus gold, I guess. I mean, fight recap. Can't do a fight recap because Dota gets confused. I mean, looking at gold net worth, though, you know, 400 gold difference here. I mean, Bird really gunning for it. Are we going to see a comeback from Supes? Bird now a level ahead and a good bit of gold ahead. Just going to throw down some harass. Item-wise, Gauntlet's of Strength still. Enchanted Mango. Fairy Fire sitting in the backpack. Come on. Come on. Bring something into your backpack. I mean, Fairy Fire's maybe going to be picked up by Supes again. Bird called him out for it before, but then picked up his own Fairy Fires, so what can you really say? Something coming out on the courier here. What was it? It was a full bracer. Full bracer. I mean, pretty big. Because current HP is self-damage, max HP is... But yeah, max HP is bonus damage. Like, if you're going Spleen Secret Source, you want to build the strength because you want the health so that you get the damage out from the blast-off. Like, Spleen Secret Source being the max HP as bonus damage. Okay, calling out inventory management. Hey, my inventory management is next level. I've actually been called out in games because I'm spending too much time on my inventory management. It's hard as a techies when you go with the 9 slot and you want to have all your slots full, but that means that when you're getting delivered items, you don't have space to just hold a recipe or something. This is quite a slow game. I mean, the Pudge one went pretty quick. We saw a slower game from the Shadow Fiend, but a lot more sort of interaction going out in terms of raises between each other. They just didn't die as quickly. Whereas now we're kind of just seeing them weighing around, not that much going down. I do wonder how different it would have been on an Invoker game, as was suggested. I mean, probably not hugely different, I don't think. They'd probably have just been whiffing spells most of the time. Invoker would have been interesting to see what build they both went for, because everybody knows an Exhort Invoker is a shit Invoker. And that's not to say you can't get Exhort. Exhort first, I think, is just questionable. I'm sure the better players would argue with that one with me, but I stand by it, okay? I've been playing Invoker for a long time, and I've been playing him very badly for a long time, and my opinions are my opinions. And again, just harass. We are going to see a rune get picked up here. I mean, no bottles bought still. Oh my god, look at this man! He's getting rid of his attributes so he gets more value out the rune! I'm pretty sure Exhort gives damage if you go the other build. The other facet. If you go facet 1, you get damage, I'm pretty sure. If you go facet 2, it gives spell amp. But it's more just that the EMP or the cold snap, I think, is so much more value for first blood. Gotta do what you gotta do. Bit of banter going out. I don't know if that's a coach thing, like his hunter telling him to do that. Picking up another rune. It's nice to see the runes actually getting picked up, but I mean, this is a very slow game. Is this going to go down to towers, or... I mean, obviously, Bird only needs the 1 extra kill. Is he just playing it slow to get that? Raindrops in the backpack here. Interesting choice. I mean, I'd get them in instead of the Fairy Fire, to be honest. They're going to negate more damage, aren't they? 120 magic block or 85 health, I mean. There we go. He's got them in. Oh, as the bracer comes in. 2 bracers. 2 bracers versus 2 bracers and a circlet. So, more stats, I think, on Bird. 1122 max health, 1100 max health on Supes. I mean, the raindrops are going to do a lot of work here, I think. I think the lack of pickup of raindrops on Bird is definitely something. I mean, how much are these bombs doing? 240 now. I think that's the same for both of them. 240 damage and negating 120 of that. You know, you're taking half damage from the bomb. Well, coming out for a Dagon, I mean... Nerd alert rhymes with bird alert. Nerd rhymes with bird you could have gone for. Otherwise, what you've said, Rocket, is that alert rhymes with alert. So it's in-depth analysis there coming from the chat. Haste rune on bird, looking to do something. He's going to push up the enemy high ground and try and loop round behind Supes. He comes in. There's the suicide bomb. Supes dropping a mine. Was that a Supes? No, it wasn't a Supes mine. It can't be. It was a bird mine. Bird mine, but it goes off, but Supes too far away to take any damage from it. Bird just going to back off, but low on mana now. Is Supes going to look to capitalize that? Supes hits 6. He does have 3 mangoes ready to go. Soul Ring comes out onto Bird. I mean, interesting pickup. He is going to Soul Ring just to throw out some more bombs. Honestly, though, these 3 mangoes could be huge. Raindrops triggered and ready to go. Supes could be looking for a kill here. It just depends if he's got the confidence to go for it. You know, I think if he mangoes up and sort of goes on the lad, he might have something. 1298 versus 1144 in terms of max health. I mean, the regen. Did he have, like, I mean, just base regen? I mean, he goes near the tower, 8.4. Oh, versus 11.5. I mean, that's actually really good regen. He's looking for something, his Supes, but he doesn't want to go under that tower, and it makes sense. I feel like this one's really thrown the schedule for the show, because it's going to take a while. Techies may not have been the most exciting pick from chat in terms of a matchup. We kind of need to make something happen here. I want to see a tower go. Or I want to see someone die. Definitely cowardice. I don't think I can all chat to the boys, but if they've got the stream up in the background, I want to see something. Make it happen, lads. I mean, both just low on mana, tickling away. Neither wants to lose this matchup. They definitely are in it for the battle. Are we going to see them do something here? Both maybe looking for the rune. 8-minute rune is top, is a shield rune. So not really a make things happen rune, more of a, hey, I might not die to this. Although picking up a shield rune and then bombing himself in, not taking damage from that soul ring or from that. Although I think he'll still take damage from the soul ring. Because it's a health sacrifice, not a damage. But he could soul ring, explode in, won't take as much damage. Doesn't want to do it though. He is just going to sit with that shield rune. Mango's coming in. Tango's ready to go. Is he going to try and make something happen? No extra mana regen on Supes here. It could be the time to make a play. Bird, I mean, you've got the shield rune. You've got the mana. You've got the ability to get more mana. Do you make a move? Do you go for something here? It's such a slow interaction. Boys, do something. Yeah, come on, like, we've been going so long with the Techies game that Stezzy's made it back from work. Bombs going out left, right, and center. Last hits. I mean, net worth heavily in the favor of Bird. Heavily. Supes fakes it. Bird goes in. Bird goes in. Drops a mine. Mine goes down from Supes as well. Another mine goes down, I think, from Bird. No, Bird out of mana. Bird going to back up here. Supes just laying down damage as he leaves. Not a good exchange there for Bird, I don't think. Supes looking to maybe push up the high ground. Does put down a mine. I mean, using the mines to farm and push the creep waves out, maybe not the worst idea. Techie's not really here to clear these. I mean, Supes here not pushing up to do damage to the tower, but Bird just trying to drag those creeps away. We're going to see anything? Double damage rune coming out on Supes. Could this be the decider? Level 8 on Supes. Level 8 on Bird. It's pretty even. I mean, do you just go for the... Should they have just gone attack range at this point? I mean, we're at a 10-minute game, and we haven't seen much come out of Blastoff. So I think at this point, you should have maybe just gone for the attack range, attack speed, built attack speed, and you could just outrange the tower. Getting corrected by chat that it's an amplified damage rune. Eat shit. It will always be DD in my eyes. I say the correct name for Goonternational casts and official Goonternational casts only. In my heart of hearts, it's a double damage. Bird dives in and he gets the kill! Insane! Bird taking the win there. Oh my god. A long and drawn out best of 3, but the win does go for Bird in a 2-1. Oh my god. Let's get in the lobby. Bird, what a final kill.
That was a great kill. Holy shit. Oh my god.
Oh.
You just needed the moral support.
Hunter coached me through it. It was like bomb blast that baby.
Drawn out so long.
It was so long.
Yeah, what a cagey
What a
game.
drawn out game. Neither of you
guys
wanting to
buy
commit.
raindrops.
You both bought raindrops.
Well, we bought it.
Pussy hiding under a tower 24/7.
Now, by the end of the game, I was sat here thinking, should they have just gone for the extra attack range with attack speed, because they'd do more harass, they'd get tower damage off, and neither of you really making the most of Spleen's secret sauce, not really getting those dive bombs.
I have no idea how to play techies. Just don't
Oh,
play
that goes for both of you. Don't worry.
Yeah. I can clearly see that. Oh, dude.
Oh,
Supes,
phenomenal
he had my
best of
number
3.
in the SF game, though. He had my number in the SF game.
He did. I mean, 3 close games, to be honest.
SF requires skill.
Well, dude, did you not see the hooks? The hooks, baby.
That hook was so good when he TP'd in. I didn't think he was going to hit it at all, and it was so perfect.
Well, excellent exhibition game, boys. Thank you very much for joining us, and to our coaches. Yeah, great job. Bird coming out in the winner overall, but a very close game. Closer than I was expecting, I think.
Yes, GG, Supes. Well played, dude.
Legend versus Crusader. What sort of matchmaking is this?
Dude.
Why would Eri do this?
Sorry, there we go. Bird an average value lad, and Supes a mega value lad. There we go. Well played, boys. Well played.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Right, if I can get Ware Banana back. There we go. We got him back. What a game.
Back to reality, huh? What a game. That was so cagey. Supes was like, oh, this is so tense. He was yeah.
I mean, that was a long game.
They're both so scared to go and lose that they didn't want to try it in the first place, I suppose.
Yeah, like neither really wanting to actually to do anything too much in that fight. There we go, getting you back on stream. Gotta get your glorious face back. Where am I? Adjusting. There we go. Beautiful. Right, let's move swiftly on, because we're very behind schedule now.
Oh my god, I was looking at our schedule just now when we were kind of doing the wrap up there, and I was thinking, oh my god.
We missed a couple of bits, but let's hit the important points. So I think let's get Ninja in here if we can before he's got his game, and hopefully GDoe is happy to wait. I'm saying it in stream because I know that they're watching, so hopefully he's happy to wait for the final slot. But
hello, GDoe.
Nope, we've got Ninja. That's what we wanted.
Oh my god, it's Ninja, not GDoe.
Yeah, sorry. Because Ninja's got a game at 7 tonight, so he's really squeezing us in here. And 6:30 was the slot that I asked for, I think. So we may be cutting a couple of bits, but it's okay. How you doing, Ninja?
How are we, Taps? Yeah, I'm good. Not
Do you
too
prefer
bad.
Ninja or Snowman?
I have absolutely no strong preference whatsoever.
Oh,
you
God.
can genuinely
Making us
just
make the
call me an
decision.
insult and I'll probably respond. So
Right, so this prick's shown up.
there we go. Perfect. This is pretty much our team talk through most of the game, so it's all good. Very used to it.
So, hang on. Let me ask, and then I'll sort out the camera footage situation. So you are here tonight because you're part of the top performing team of the group stage.
Yeah. Apparently we're doing okay. So yeah, as much of a surprise to everyone on our team as I think to everyone else. So yeah, we're just enjoying it.
I mean, you say a surprise. How did you expect to perform?
Oh, we genuinely thought it would be an 08, like just an absolute criminal performance every single game, and that we'd either just about squeeze in through the elimination games, or that we'd just dump out at the group stage. So yeah, we're just enjoying every game as it comes by. To be honest with you.
Well, I mean, clearly not the case that's happened. So you're suggesting that you came in with the attitude of this isn't going to go well. Let's have a good time. And now it's going well,
100%.
and you're having a good time, or how's the morale, or how's the vibe in the games?
Really good. I mean, the vibes in the games. We've had a couple of tense games, but even in those games, I think we know each other well enough as players and as people. I mean, I've played with Alex, Stessi, and Lanero a lot, so we know each other well enough to kind of not be super aggro or super toxic towards one another. Like, you can kind of tell when someone's having a tough time, and then you just kind of support and throw a bit of banter, keep the vibes good. And then Myth's just a wonderful human being, so it's very easy to get along with him and slot him into the group.
I think that's good to have. I mean, you've got to. I think a lot of teams maybe. Actually, I don't know. I mean, Banana, you can maybe comment on this as well, because as a team captain, but sometimes there's a bit of friction on my own team as well, and yeah, I definitely think it's important to have that sort of like. Oh, I mean, you maybe got to have a player who kind of tries to drag it back a bit, or kind of stop the arguments before they happen or when they happen. But also sometimes it's just nice to have that chill player on your team who doesn't get involved but is just there and doing their job and doing their thing.
I mean, we're a bit of an outlier because we've got the one and only NZ FedEx on our team, so there is always friction where Fed is concerned. He's the king of throwing out. Where'd you go there? But you learn to deal with him, and it's kind of charming for those of us that have played with him a long time. But I definitely think that kind of established chemistry goes an awful long way. And you can really see it coming through in the way that you guys play on Stassi's Ninja.
Yeah, it's a big thing. I think we know each other's humor. We know you can tell by certain people's tone when it's like, a storm's coming. Quick, batten down the hatches. Let's get the PMA out.
No pun intended.
Let's start making some good calls. So yeah.
That's it. A storm's coming. It must be one of the three. Your other two heroes must have been banned out then.
Yeah, absolutely. Lord help us.
A storming's coming. So obviously we said earlier, Stesi's Ultra Shitters. It's I can't remember what we called it. An institution. That's what we called it. An institution of the Goonternational. It's a recurring team. Now, I'm showing my ignorance here in that I'm unfamiliar really with a lot of the team's previous rosters. How many of you guys played last year on Stesi's? Obviously, last year I believe not Ultra. Is that right? Just Shitters last year.
Just Shitters. I am also very. This is my first Goonternational that I've actually really paid attention to. So I believe that it was Stessi and Alex were on last time's team. I think.
So Stessi's weren't actually playing last year. It was their first Goonternational they played in. So it took a hiatus.
There was a Shitters team last year, wasn't there?
There was iShitters, which is unrelated.
Is it?
Yeah.
I genuinely had it in my head that they were like chronological.
No, yeah, genuinely unrelated. But you had Stessi, you had Coop, who's now up POS 5, was their carry, and had a standout PL game, if memory serves. But yeah, I cannot remember for the life of me who the other two players on their team were. I feel like it's going to come back to bite me because Scruff and Action Dan, that's the one.
I feel like if we have an iShitters versus Stesi's Shitters, it's like a multiverse war. It's universes collide. It's like the two parallel running comic book series where the team makeup's different in the two universes.
If memory serves, iShitters really lived up to their name. I can't remember much about them, but I can't remember them posing much of a challenge.
So, just speaking of the term shitters, which could refer to, being shit at the game, or I also feel it could very easily refer to, like shitters as like shithousery, like, coming in and playing some troll heroes and just having a bit of a piss take with it all. Like, is that what you guys aim to do? I mean, I haven't seen a lot of your games. Is that what you guys are doing?
I mean, we're not kind of trolling in that way. We're really up for crack, though. Like, we're really up for a
To clarify, that's crack, C-R-A-I-C, I believe, not...
Not the drug.
Well, not
crack.
The Goonternational does not condone crack cocaine.
I mean, whatever works for you, but it's not needed on our team. We have just about enough energy to get us through. Although Stacey sometimes sounds like he's about to fall asleep at the end of a long game. But yeah, no, we're down for a lot of kind of all chat, back and forth, tipping, voice lines, that kind of shithousery. I'm all here for. I fucking love it. I think it's a great part of the game.
Have you had any occasions yet where that's gone the wrong way? Because I mean, you guys are dominating at the moment, so it's very easy. You come up against someone, they don't want to lose, they do lose, and then there's a bit of voice lines, and
yeah,
can come across as a bit of a fuck you, you know.
No. We had in our first series, we won our first game against team. Is it Sit Out?
Sit Out was your first game, yeah.
Yeah. We beat them in the first game, and there was some comments made about Myth by a certain carry player on the opposite team. And so the second game came around, and we as a team, we took that personally, and we basically tried to tilt him off the face of the planet. I ganked his lane twice in a row. We tipped him. We pinged him. We literally did everything that we could to try and tilt him, and we won that game rather handily. The second game compared to the first. So yeah, we enjoy it. We're down for it. 100%.
You definitely succeeded. Can I also point out the other time where your voice line might have gone awry was in a game against Granny's Cookies, where you reached the level of an Effie voice line, and Stacey, unbeknowingly, playing Snapfire, hit Granny's Cookies, who were being stomped at the time, with the line, "You want cookies? Too bad."
I mean, yeah, maybe it was a little uncalled for in terms of the game state, but for the banter, I honestly, it's sometimes it's too tasty not to.
No, I know. It was an accident.
The thing is that yeah.
I mean,
as a team, I think we're good at we're able to take it as well. We've got thick skin, so
I
we
do-
throw it out, but we receive it just as well.
I do respect it, I have to say. I think there's a certain level of you got to take things with a pinch of salt, to use an old phrase. You know, when you're playing in a tournament like this, like everybody's there for a bit of fun at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Nobody's getting any gain out of winning, really. You know, everything's going to charity.
Pride. Purely
might
pride.
say that you love it, comma, up the shitters. And that comma is very important in that sentence. If you write it down, ladies and gentlemen.
Comma, no comma, makes no difference. Fuck it.
Love a bit of cockwork. That's what it is. Yeah, so I mean, undefeated. Now, I will point out there has been a call from chat here. Also undefeated. Now, there's a toss-up here of you guys have technically beaten more teams with the way the group stage has worked out. And also there's a question of which team is better. I mean, I'd have to quickly check when the earliest you guys say, you know, if you and are the top teams, when are you first meeting? Not until the final of upper bracket.
Yeah. They're on the other side of the bracket.
I guess works out perfectly in terms of organization. Is that a worry for you? Are there any teams you're worried about that you might be facing, or are you feeling very confident going into main stage?
I think to be worried, we kind of have to care. I think as a group, we're just kind of like, well, okay, we've got a game on Sunday. Everyone around? Yep. Okay, cool. Off we go.
That's a very shitter mentality.
Yeah, I enjoy the research aspect and looking into teams and thinking up counters and that's something that just makes my brain tick.
Okay.
So I do that, but I don't do it because the teams ask me to do it. That's just my enjoyment. So we do a little bit of homework, and then we just turn up at the draft and we're like, okay, these are the things we should ban. What do we want to play? And that's kind of just how it goes.
Are you available for Are you available for hire in those services? Because I mean, you're clearly doing a decent job there. So,
well,
if you
my
enjoy it
fees
so
are-
much,
my fees are quite extensive. A Parmo an hour, I believe, is the current going rate. So
oh god,
Stacey's building up quite the tab with me at the moment for my in-depth research.
that's a lot of Parmos.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be type 2 diabetic by the end of it.
From Parmos? Is that, am I
Yeah,
getting confused about what a
so
Parmo
much
is?
cheese. There's so
Oh, I
much
guess.
cheese.
I'm just thinking sugar, but yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. That's
For
a lot of
those
fat.
that
Heart disease
don't
coming your
know,
way.
A Parmo is like a fried chicken cutlet covered in bechamel and melted cheese. So I guess you're probably more likely to get heart failure than diabetes.
I believe there's is there not a layer of some sort of like tomato in there, like pizza sauce kind of
I
stuff?
think you can get it with tomato.
Yeah.
I don't know if Ceci will approve of that as a proper Teesside Parmo, but
yeah, I have to say, never had a Parmo myself. But
I haven't either. Stacey's promising us them based on how we perform. So it'll be my first time head up to Teesside and have a Parmo with Stacey.
So if you guys win, there's going to be a big Parmo party. That's what you're saying.
Well, Stacey posted into our chat earlier a 16-inch diameter Parmo.
Sorry, how do you get a 16-inch Parmo? Where the hell are you finding the chicken?
Oh, Falcus, let's not be too hasty. 16 inches isn't that big. A lot of men can fit that.
A chicken, a slice of chicken. I mean, even if you're like butterflying that chicken breast, you're looking for an 8-inch breast on a chicken.
They got big chickens up to now.
That's a big chicken.
Big chickens.
They're cutting up a fucking dodo here.
Red different up north.
Get one secret. Cut dodo. Have far more.
We still got dodo up north.
Still got him. Kept him safe for
big chicken in north coming from chat. I mean, excellent. Can we get an invite to that Parmo party if it all comes to fruition? Can we get the Top Goon exclusive?
Potentially. Well, I'll have to clarify with Stacey because I think most of us have laid a large claim on the old Parmo. Can't be sharing it too thinly. But yeah.
Excellent. So I guess I'd say between you guys and you know, top two favorites to win coming out of the group stage, just on the fact of being undefeated. You confident that Parmo party is going to happen?
It's one of those where it's kind of like don't want to get too big-headed because that's when mistakes get made when you start kind of treating people differently because you're letting it all get to your head. I mean, we're just quietly confident in ourselves as a team, and we're quietly confident in our players. So I mean, that's kind of all we can do, and then just make sure that we're playing our way and just doing the best that we can with what's in front of us. So yeah, that's kind of the approach we're taking. So kind of a self-confidence, yes, but not like we're not getting to full egotistical, haha, we're going to win everything level yet. There's a long way to go first.
I think your outlook also suggests something that we were talking about earlier, which was that it's good to sort of go into the games with the idea of we're here for fun, we're here for a bit of Dota, and we're gonna have a good time. And being relaxed is beneficial in that. So I mean, you guys are clearly proofing the pudding on that one.
Indeed, just keep it nice and chill. Have fun with the lads. Treat it like a pub game, and then whatever happens, happens.
So want to put some upset into the team here, I guess. Do you feel you've got a best player? Is there someone who's a standout in your games who's really pushing things, or? I mean, you're mid. We've seen a lot of mids win mid, win game. You know, do you have that vibe going on, or?
I think the wonderful thing about our team is that we can rely on anyone to pull a game by the scruff of the neck and say, I'm fucking winning this. So we've had games where Stacey's just been like, no, this game's mine. We've had games where Lanny's done that. We've had games where Alex has really turned up and put in a cracking performance. I've had some good games as well where I think I've dictated play well. We can, and Myth is just a god, just quietly pulling out all the stuns, big team fight ultis. So I kind of, we just we don't need like a standout player because everyone can be consistent and everyone can step up to the plate when we need them to. So yeah, I think there's not really anyone that's kind of the star, if you will, the miracle of the team.
I think that's a good way to have your team. It definitely helps in terms of like morale. You don't have that reliance on one person. If they have a bad day, then the team has a bad day, you know.
I mean, Myth is the lowest ranked player in the whole tournament, right?
Oh, hang on, sorry, I forgot.
Right?
Banana's a huge Myth fan at the moment.
Yeah,
the stats don't lie.
He's like Herald 4 or something, Herald 3, Herald 4, which might be slightly out of date, but yeah, he's completely outperforming his medal. Definitely one of the standout players of the tournament for me so far. But I think you're right, Ninja. You guys all you've got a really nice kind of synergy whereby kind of you don't rely on any one player too much to produce the results that you're producing. Which gives you this really lovely kind of ability to consistently win games quite handily.
Yeah, it means that you kind of, if someone's having a really rough lane, then there's still places to go on the map. Like generally, I think we do kind of win at least one of our lanes, and that gives you at least someone to play through. So, and I think we're very good at recognizing who's strong and then playing through them. So yeah. No, it's a really good team comp. I love playing with the lads. They're a great bunch.
No, I think it sounds like you guys have a very good outlook, a very good vibe on your team, and definitely one to watch given your current performance.
Indeed. I'm currently being requested by my captain extraordinaire that my wisdom is apparently needed. So Lord help us if it's my wisdom.
Who are you playing tonight?
We have got Bad Lads.
Bad Lads at 7 o'clock. You feeling good? Nervous?
I'm really up for it. I like a lot of the lads on Bad Lads. We have some good banter. So yeah, should be a fun game. Some back and forth.
Keep an eye out for the voice lines and the tipping on that one.
Oh, 100%. I think it's going to be going both ways. So yeah.
It's
brilliant.
The first kind of intergroup test, isn't it?
Indeed.
Amazing.
Well, good luck.
Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much,
any last thing? Anything else you want to say?
Up the shitters. Let's fucking go.
Up the shitters.
That's pretty much it.
Well, thank you very much.
Cheers.
And good luck tonight.
Lads. Thank you very much.
Good luck tonight.
Bye.
Well, there you go. That's Ninjasnowman. Shitters by name, shitters by nature, very much by the sounds of things. I mean, amazing.
Yeah, big fan of those lads. I think they are going to do great things this tournament.
I just love the fact that they're so. It sounds like they're so relaxed and they're in it for the fun. And honestly, it makes me think that. I mean, I know we haven't talked to all the teams, and we're not necessarily going to be able to, but a team winning with the outlook of just let's have a good time, let's do what we can, let's just play the series, and them coming out on top. It's just such a good vibe. It feels like the spirit of the Goonternational, I would say.
Yes, absolutely. And these guys, I mean, I've played an awful lot with every single person on Stessy Shitters. They are all very much kind of here for fun and not much else.
Right. Well, next up then, let's finally get GDoe in. GDoe supposed to have been coming in. I think 5 o'clock.
Yeah, an hour and 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, I did drop some messages. They know that it was delayed. And what an entrance to make. A lovely Murloc sound from Hearthstone.
Hello.
Murloc sound. Hello.
Oh, glorious overlord of the tournament, GDoe. Welcome to Top Goon.
How's it going?
Oh, we've been talking our vocal cords raw.
Been having a great time, though, I hope. Well, I've been having a great time. The Banana's here under contract, so.
Yeah. I'm being paid in spicy peanuts and aspals.
Legally obligated to be having a good time. No, it's been great. It's been great. Lovely stuff.
So how are you doing tonight? I was worried a little bit that I realized you've got games to set up, don't you?
So, thankfully, the fantastic Kieran the Wise is taking the first lobby off my hands. Because he's casting it, I should say. So, my first lobby to set up will be at past, with the game that Toffee is now doing. The game that you were going to do.
The game that
so, yeah.
Banana is playing in, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the lobby setting up is super easy. You know, it's super straightforward. There's nothing complicated about it. It's just the player wrangling, and also when there's multiple games in the same day. You know, I obviously I'm sure lots of people do this anyway, but I have the multi-stream up, and I'm like, okay, which game is gonna end first?
Yeah, I mean, you're really on it. Like, every time I've been in a game, I'm like 30 seconds out of the game, and I get a message like, oh, same password, same name. And I'm like, what? Like, it's instantaneous. And then you're waiting around, waiting to start it while everybody pisses off and goes to the toilet and gets a drink and makes dinner and goes for a 5-mile walk.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 10-minute smoke break. No, it's honestly fine. It's honestly fine. It's super easy.
Well, you put us to shame. We couldn't even get a 1v1 lobby set up earlier.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can be picking your brain next time I need a lobby set up.
There's like a certain amount of voodoo magic involved with any of this, I feel like.
I know what the issue was earlier. You have to set spectators as allowed before you set up a spectator channel. I think that's the problem.
It's
but
like bugged. Like, it's like, you know,
Valve, fix your game.
I'm a huge Valve simp, but it's bugged as fuck. Like,
well, it's a new game, isn't it? Like, you can't fault them too much. It's a small indie game by a small indie studio.
Is it out of beta yet?
Probably not for the next 10 years, I'd say.
Games never leave beta now, right?
Absolutely. I don't know if anyone knows like dev terms, but they probably work agile, right? Like, probably all of this stuff is on the backlog. It just needs to be prioritized, honestly. Like, I bet they know about all the bugs we complain about, but they're just like,
they just don't
it's very
care.
far down the list. Yeah,
they've got more important things to do. They've got cares to put out. They've got an update for us.
I would argue, as long as the actual games run okay, which they do, to be fair, then in terms of menu and lobby bugs, we can cope. Also, they gave us the facilities to make such awful profile backgrounds that I think that we have to just, we have to give them some slack in other areas.
Yeah, they must spend a lot of time dealing with reported profile backgrounds. The amount of
mine
stuff.
I would like to say, if you have epilepsy, never look at my profile. It will trigger it. It will trigger it. I found the most awful thing. But yeah, so
I have shared this idea around. I have shared this idea around, but I genuinely think next time we need to do a mini profile contest in like replacement of TIs. Like,
oh my God,
how good would that be? Like, I'm actually excited.
Banana's just looked at mine. So it turns out that the runes spin, and you can make the runes really big, and they're also considered really low value items because obviously you have a cost limit. So you can put in shit tons of the runes and just stack them all over each other.
Horrible.
And it's fucking hell.
Horrible.
Oh, it's glorious. I don't know what you're on about. It's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, so organizing the Goonternational, it's a big tournament. It's a big deal. How did it fall on your shoulders this year? I mean, I was very a very low interest participant last year, I would say, in that I sorted my games and I turned up for them, and that was about it. So I don't know what involvement you had last year, or whether you just took on the burden this year. I mean, how did it all happen?
Absolutely nothing last year. I was a player as well, and that was my full extent of role. And then obviously some of the goons will know we did so the GFG Invitational, which was good fun. I think which then inspired like the likes of sort of like Mephisto Mori to like say, oh well, okay, if we can do community tournaments, we can do community tournaments. So they did the Masters, and for the Masters, I was like, and people will know this, but I love spreadsheets so much. It's so sad. It's like the one thing I'm good at in life. Spreadsheets. Like, I'm just so good at spreadsheets. So for the Masters, I made like a mega spreadsheet which does a ton of automatic stuff. So then when it came to Goonternational, I could see the goons were clamoring for it. They were desperate for it. They were gagging for it. Like, there was literally like little messages here and there. There was like every other week there's like a little message going, are we doing Goonternational this year? So I reached out to parties involved to wonder, well, is there a reason there's been no announcement yet? Some people very busy, real life things going on, and I went, you know what, I've already got the spreadsheet. I know that I will just need like a little bit of tweaking to it. I already do other organizational stuff, so fuck it. I'll just say, look, I don't mind doing it. And then yeah, it's that went from like probably 0 to 100 very quickly.
I can't get past the line you didn't quite say, but in gist of the goons are gagging for my spreadsheets.
Yep.
If they don't know it, they don't know, but it's true.
I just imagine that. I don't know, I'm just seeing that on a dating profile now. Like, you don't know it yet, but you're gagging for my spreadsheets.
Have you ever considered a career in finance, GDoe? Because I spend my life looking at spreadsheets, and it's I wish I could work the magic that you have with the Goonternational.
It's not just finance. I'm in engineering, and it's all there's so many spreadsheets. Like the people I've met who actually I've seen everything from the worst to the best. Like there are people I've worked with who do not know how a formula works in a spreadsheet, and there are people I know who are full into the back end coding of Excel.
Yeah, I probably fall more into that category. I'm so blessed to have my IRL job also involve spreadsheets, so I'm paid for my. I literally, my favorite day is putting my headphones on. 7 hours of work is all just making spreadsheets, Excel formulas, setting it all up. I'm very sad. So that's like like probably 90% of why I've found myself in this position is just, well, I have a spreadsheet that kind of does some of what you need. So fuck it.
What do you think of the proposal for next year? I'm definitely not plugging mine and Swan's idea.
Hey, I'd like to claim I was in on this as well. If you check the chat logs,
Falcus and Swan.
I've actually technically claimed it. I've claimed it as intellectual property of the three of us. So
the WFS.
It's in writing.
Draft.
You can fight me on it, but you won't win. Yeah. How do you feel about that? The NFL version of the Goonternational.
I'm not into sports at all, but I think I've understood the gist of it, and it sounds hilarious and also great. I mean, I have given it some thought for sure, but I think if we actually get to that point, it'll be interesting, because like I think it'll be a big change, won't it? Because people won't necessarily get in a team with their buddies, which I think will be a bit of a slur.
Yeah, like you could be picking up players who don't want to be on your team, but you got to make your team seem worth it. Like, what are you getting? Are you getting a Parmo? Are you are you getting some drinks? Are you getting great vibes? Like, what's going on? I mean, I guess as a tournament organizer, can you see it working? Do you think it? I mean, it's definitely a fun idea. We can't blame that. But are you up for it? If that was what was wanted next year, and you could bring on a bit of extra help, are you up for it?
The way I would see it working is almost like you have to have like the players sign up individually on an individual basis, like in advance, and then like obviously set up like. It's almost like the drafting event. That's the thing as well, I guess. If you want to do it in one day or something, I've genuinely given it some thought. I think it could work. The only thing that pulls me back on it is just there was like, for example, I was about to say naming no names, but Team for example, signing up literally last minute, and actually even the same with like Sezzy's Ultra Shitters, very 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 last minute. So it's with that team still have the how do I say this politely, the organizational ability to still sign up in advance, or would that team miss out? That's the only thing.
I think you've got to have like a well extended period in advance where you're saying player sign-ups, franchise sign-ups, or franchise applications, should I say?
Yeah.
Oh, I can imagine the franchise wars.
Well, I think, like I say, I'm very keen to get this going. I was going to say I could try and make some of the spreadsheets, but after what you've just said, I feel like I wouldn't want to take that joy out of your life.
I think there's help needed there. I don't want in on the spreadsheets, but I'm in for the media help. That's what I'll say. I would say I think it adds such a more community aspect to it that you're mixing up the teams, you're meeting different people. Like if it wasn't for being so involved on the casting side this year, like there are people I wouldn't have talked to about things. Like I've talked to Amos about so much casting stuff. I mean, I've sat here with Banana's glorious mustache for like 3 hours now. Like I'd never have done that otherwise.
The longest we've ever spoken for, Falcus.
No, I'm not sure we've spoken before, really. Not in like an actual call. But I mean, like I have interacted with so many more people through this, and it has been a great time. Like I think there's so much potential for horrendous team makeups, I guess. But there's almost so much. There's so much potential for hidden. I want to say friendships, but it sounds way too wholesome. Hidden horrendous combinations. Let's go with that. That makes it sound less cringe.
I think it sounds great. Honestly, I like the idea of it a lot.
Also,
and I think as long as the council and committee and unions don't like vote me out or anything, I'm down to do it again next year. As much as people who hear me talk about it are probably like, why would you choose to do this again? I mean, I don't mind. It's good. It's good fun.
I think the question would be, why would you choose to make this so much more complicated? But a big thing that's been suggested is also the gambling aspect that it can bring in. Now, I don't know the legality of this, but there is suggestion that there could be a full book, like off the books bookies, basically.
We'll do it like Fight Club, right? As long as no one talks about it, nothing will go wrong.
What would be really cool is if we could offer a real prize pool, then Liquipedia would let us on the wiki, and we could have like an official page for the tourney and everything.
Is that what the issue is? The prize pool?
That's what I heard. Heard.
So could we not offer a prize pool, but there's an agreement that it all that it all goes to charity?
Well, so this is what happened in the first year, right? We won. Yeah. We chose MSF as our like designated charity, and we raised like, I think it was like $2.5 grand, $3 grand, something like that. I can't remember how much it was that can raise in the end. And we tried to tell Liquipedia that was the prize money.
Yeah.
I think because it was raised after the tournament had finished,
yes,
there was something, and they were like, well, no, it doesn't count. And then there was this whole problem with the formatting, and they gave Jonas and Nutkin a really hard time about it, and it was just kind of all over.
There is an issue that the money being raised afterwards, I think, is a problem. Now, I understand the issues with raising the money before with not knowing what charity it's going to go to, but I think it is something that is worth looking into in like for a workaround maybe for next year or something, because if do you know what I mean? Every stream is plugging the donate to charity and all of this, then it's such a big hype. And I also think that it's charity, so it is what it is. But at the end of the day, there are going to be people who, at the end of the tournament, their team's been kicked out, or they're not interested anymore, or they maybe don't donate because it's unlikely to be because they don't like the charity, but it is possible.
Well, this is kind of what I was
sorry, I got tech issues. There we go. That's the second audio crash. Yeah, we're good.
That was kind of what I was trying to get at when I suggested towards the start of the tournament that we did it all for Sarcoma UK.
Yeah, I agree.
But
a bit of a shame that we didn't do that in the end.
I do understand, but I think there is a benefit to
something.
Yeah, exactly. Like the winner getting to pick the charity is somewhat of a big deal. And we had the discussion last night. We weren't expecting to win a main stage game, and we did. And I said to my team, like, I don't expect us to win, but like, just if we did, like, are we at odds of what charity we pick? Like, and I think we all came to a similar conclusion that with what we were happy with anyway. So, but I think most teams don't have the discussion, to be fair. But I think, definitely.
It's a novel idea, though, isn't it? It's kind of fun, that concept of like everyone in the community just loves the idea of it all so much that they just go ahead and donate a ton of money to charity. It's just really lovely.
Well, it's like all the celebrity stuff, isn't it? Whenever there's a celebrity game show, the money goes to charity, but they're winning it for that charity, and that's the nice aspect, because nobody really wants to donate to a prize pool to go to 5 random fucking morons who are going to spend it on Palmos.
Yeah, for sure. And naming no names. But yeah.
Well, I hate to think what would spend it on.
It's so funny.
They win. Wins 5 grand, and the next Masters has a 5 grand prize pool. I wonder what happened there.
Wait, hold on. That's actually such a good idea, though. Like, we just like every year.
Oh my
the
god,
prize
there
pool
is
just goes into,
there
like, an
is
interest
zero
account.
prize pool. We just get all the community
It just
tournaments onto
rolls on.
Liquipedia because the prize pool just goes round and round and round.
Yeah. So there's
You're
like,
like,
a
guys,
stipulation. Oh,
guys,
yeah,
there is a prize pool. The team just automatically donated it to the next tournament. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know why they did it.
The winner
But...
gets to choose which ETF back stocks and shares ISA it goes into.
Exactly.
But
oh my god, that's
to bring
so
us
good.
back to this tournament, the one we're currently in, what has been the hardest part of the organization?
What's been the hardest part of the, like, honestly? So, like, all of the bracket and the groups and the sign-ups, all of that stuff. No, like, without sounding a bit like cocky, I don't know, piece of piss. It's really, really straightforward. The hard part has been
I feel like I know what you're
going to
say.
everything in advance. Well, you know, but the part of your schedule that you might not have gotten to in time. It's just
Oh, I don't even think that. I thought you were going to say the hard part was the main stage.
No, honestly, it's not too bad. I think the hard part has maybe been like, I'm just trying to do all of this to be sort of like, I don't know. I just have a spreadsheet and I just want it to be like helpful in the face of like someone not being able to do what was originally, I don't know, thought was going to happen. So like, you know, just stepping in and being like, yeah, well, I can do it. I don't mind. But then there's so much, it turns out when you're dealing with, you know, how many people even is it? 5 times 17 plus all of the peanut gallery. It's
yeah, so it's what, 535? Oh no, sorry, 85 people plus coaches.
Yeah, so I mean,
it's just under 100 people.
Exactly. I try really hard to just make sure everyone's really considered and everyone's fairly treated, but always there's going to be someone who's unhappy with the decision that's made, right? So I think actually for me personally, on like a literal personal level, I just have to have a bit more of a stronger mental to like, okay, I'm not going to make everyone happy. Like if I really want to continue doing this like next year and stuff, which I am more than happy to do, like I've got to be conscious that like I can do my best to lay everything out really clearly and try and make it really carefully considered for everyone. But at the end of the day, 90% of people are going to be super happy with what's happened. They're going to have a fun time. There's always going to be someone who's not happy. And I think like, you know, maybe that's okay. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's too deep. Sorry if that's too deep.
No, that's fine.
I think you've... Go on, Falcus.
Oh, sorry. You mentioned people not being unhappy. Like, you know, you're not going to make everyone happy. That's at the end of the day. Now, there has been a suggestion, I think even from myself. So I'm gonna, you know, I'll say it. It was me. I've suggested that the rank cap is too high at Ancient 5. It was Ancient 3.
Yeah.
It got up to Ancient 5. Am I right? The average is it Archon 5 or is it Archon 3?
It's Archon. It's wait, sorry. It's
You're on the spot. Sorry.
Ancient 3 is the individual cap. And then Archon 5 is the team average cap.
Am I not right that the individual cap got upped from Ancient 3 to Ancient 5?
It got upped from Ancient 1 to Ancient 3.
Ah, maybe that's where I'm wrong.
I think I might have suggested Ancient 5. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it was... Blah, 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 blah. Let me see. Yeah, Ancient 3 is the individual cap right now.
Okay.
I originally proposed Ancient 5 because I just thought it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
We downed it to Ancient 1.
I mean,
and then we upped it again to Ancient 3. But it's funny, you know, because like some people are like, Ancient 3 is too high, or some people are like, Ancient 3 is too low. So it's funny, like, you know.
Speaking as a captain of a team of all Archons, although you did put you did yourself put ads at Legend 1 or Legend 3, I think, but I still technically count us as a team of all Archons, for better or worse. But it's interesting. Is there a world where the Goonternational goes to? I mean, I've had the idea of a tournament, and I've considered the idea of just putting the cap at saying no immortals and just letting divines play as well, and still having that cap. Like, is there? Because I mean, Ancient 3 is already pretty high compared to some of the players.
It is, isn't it?
Do you think it's worth having the cap? I can understand not letting immortals in, but should divine players just be allowed?
Is that, like, if you go back and look at like previous like pin posts and stuff, like the cap, like max cap on an individual player was like Archon 5.
ETI
like,
one was Archon 5. Yeah, I was just thinking that because we had issues with.
I think the cap was low last year.
Playing, where like the people weren't happy that Emu was on our team in the first GTI, and we had to put him on. So he's normally a core player. We had to put him on POS 4.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and people still weren't happy.
Last year it was at discretion, wasn't it? It was basically if you were allowed in the in-house, you were allowed to play. But if you were only allowed to play support in in-house, you were only allowed to play support in Goonternational. Whereas I think this is the first year there's been an actual hard cap. That's a fact. That's it. It's not to anyone's discretion. Which in some ways is definitely a plus, because if it's to anyone's discretion, there's a bias. But
I think that's the difficulty is like, I mean, Glico obviously happened. And that kind of changed the sort of rank I guess, landscape quite a lot.
Just for clarification, Glico being when there was a huge change in the rank system in Dota, and I think everybody overall dropped. Is that right?
I think everyone overall went up a little bit.
It kind of reshuffled the bell curve, so it was back on Archon 3.
My info on this is awful, but just to clarify for anyone who doesn't know, that's what happened. There we go.
Yeah, and I think as well, like in general, the like sort of Goon sort of average rank is probably a lot higher than 2 years ago. Not least because we all just play a ton of Dota and just generally get better at the game, but also because I would argue like the skill floor of the game is always getting higher. Like, there's just so many guys. You don't get the same goonery. Like, Herald won maybe, but
I'd say on that note, there's an argument that Dota isn't gaining new players.
It's true.
So therefore, everybody gradually improving as a community just means that the skill floor is moving up, isn't it?
Exactly. And so I think like what some of the feedback that had been like given from previous years was sort of, well, maybe we should put a rank cap. And we had actually done that same thing for the Masters. So I just sort of thought, well, okay, let's just try it out, carry that forward. And I guess in hindsight, maybe it's a bigger change than was expected. The thing is, I totally agree with you. Like, why? Yes, there's a difference between Ancient 1 and Ancient 5. But I can tell you from the hours that I spent combing through everyone's profiles and the games they played and all of that stuff, a lot of Goons don't play ranked. A lot of Goons play only
barely
party,
any Goons play ranked because they all play in 5 stacks all the time. I'm guilty of that now. I didn't used to be, but
I was looking at some people's profile. They legitimately have not played a solo game of Dota in 5 years. How am I meant to argue anything about them? So. Yeah,
they just don't want to be on their own.
Exactly. A bit of trial and error to try and figure out like a... Exactly. And and that's completely fair. Personally, I do play a lot of solo Dotes, but man, I was not expecting that. Like, I would say easily like 2/3 of the Goons never play solo. It's crazy.
It is worth pointing out that you've done a very good job of balancing the teams. Like from a statistical perspective, going back to the kind of graphs we were looking at earlier, there's 2 teams that have dumps to the groups, and that's it. Like everyone else has dropped a game or 2.
Yeah.
And I remember in the first GTI we played as Live Laugh Luton. We won all bar 3 of our games, 3 of our series. Right? Sorry, all bar 3 of our games. We only dropped 2 maps in a run up to the final, and then we dropped a map in the final, and that was it.
I think there are a couple of teams that are possibly even technically, if you look at the exact ranks, above the average, the allowed average.
It doesn't feel like it though, does it?
They're not even top of their group. So
yeah, I mean the problem teams, quote unquote, going into it was, I mean, you'd probably say Tit Warblers was one of them, and they are second from the bottom in our group. Like it kind of goes to show, I think, that you've probably done a very, very good job of assessing the situation when it comes to rank with the teams. I think you've set up a fantastically fair tournament.
Credit where credit's due to the balancing of the groups. Great job to that wheel.
Honestly, true. It was a really good like south of groups, right? Yeah.
Great
I was
wheel.
actually very surprised and very happy that happened and turned out that way. I was really worried that after all of the effort and the stuff put into like ranking people, and some people obviously I did make unhappy because I had to say, "Now you're too high rank" and stuff like that.
Oh, you've got to do that though.
Yeah. And
If a team had taken Chrono or Kyle, then Viddy would have got to play. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. True. I think they were both unavailable, which is so unfortunate. But yeah, I take your point though. Why Ancient 3? Why not Divine 5? Why not anything? Honestly,
yeah, this is my point. Like, I think you there's no point having Immortals play. They're too good. Fuck the Immortals. If you're Immortal, go do something different.
When you have the average, as long as the team conforms, right? It can be an Immortal.
There is a
but
point
if you
though,
have a Herald
where one Immortal can carry
I
a
would
game.
say as well, by my metric, which obviously I was about to say is the only one that matters. That's not real. I'm joking when I'm saying
No, she
that,
said it.
but-
They said it. It's all that matters. They said it.
I did like literally try so hard to apply literally identical methodology to. I literally looked through every single player, by the way. So I applied the same to every single person. No one is above the average MMR cap. At least not at the time that I last looked, which was the start of the group stage.
In the spirit of having good stats, I guess, and in the idea of doing a full-on like draft style, franchises pick up players, how would you feel about the idea that everyone who registers would have to play, say, at least 5 solo ranked games before the tournament?
Honestly, see, here's the thing. There's some people who have legitimately played so 0 ranked ever. Their unranked MMR and their ranked MMR is like a massive gap. You could have them play 5 ranked games. They're still uncalibrated. Their rank shows completely inaccurately. Or honestly, I would say, unless they play like a significant enough amount of ranked, which I don't know what you'd have to figure out what's a significant enough amount.
Well, arguably by Dota standards, it's getting a rank, I suppose, which is hard to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Then like I was looking at some people, they're like calibrated, but they've got like 400 ranked matches and like 3,000 unranked matches. I'm gonna take their unranked as being more accurate because like how like in theory the more you play the more accurate that is. So forcing people who only play unranked to play ranked just to give me a number doesn't really make sense.
But would you just want people to play solo games to get an accurate reading?
This is what happened this time. There was quite a few people who had only played party. I forced them to play a solo unranked game because in my opinion, at least, there's no point forcing them to play a solo ranked game because it could be drastically wrong if they never play ranked.
But would you stand by that the one game is enough, or do you think they should do? If we had the time, let's say, going into another tournament, you say if you don't have an actual rank, play 5 unranked games, like solo unranked games, and we'll take that average.
I definitely think that would be more reliable.
Okay.
Because I did notice definitely some people have a decent amount of solo unranked games. It can vary wildly. So.
You got to think people who play in stacks play with the same stacks all the time.
Yeah, for sure. It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, there's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do to try and guesstimate what that person's rank is going to be. And honestly, like that isn't even a measure of skill, is it? Because you can even know people who have Immortal and they're dog shit. Like it's just like it's tough. It's tough. I honestly, my second idea, other than your guys' idea of doing a drafted tourney, like what did you call it? Franchise?
I'd just say an NFL style draft.
NFL style.
NFL style.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to put it, but
yeah. My other idea is fine, you can have your uncapped team, full rank, go on, be the highest rank you possibly can be, but alongside it, run a real shitters tourney that you might only get like 6 teams in, but there's like a hard cap of like, I don't know,
See, it's,
comment below. Kind
it's
of thing.
hard because then kind of what you're running is like a British football league style tournament where you've got your different stages.
Right. Yeah,
but then the
true,
issue is if you're just running a rank cap, then how does a team really move up? So, like, does a team have to move up and then get better players because they're now at a higher rank cap and that sort of thing? Or if you don't have a rank cap, why doesn't the ancient player just go down and play in League One because they're going to have a better time? You know?
I have to go because I have a game in 10 minutes.
Very much appreciated. I will be watching that game. Thank you, Banana, for joining
thank you very
me
much for
for
having
tonight.
me. Namaste, konnichiwa. Thank you.
Sayonara.
Thank you all so much. It's been an absolute pleasure.
He's waited the whole fucking stream to follow.
See you later.
Catch you later, man. Oh, well. Hang on, let me show all participants. There we go. I'll crop this down to just you. I'll keep you for a little longer if that's all right, GDoe.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the insight here. Let me just crop this down and then remember what we were talking about.
Premier League or a tournament last, like,
I mean,
yeah,
I've had the thought of just having like, do you just have different tournaments? Do you set it to be like, you know, if we already have the Masters and we have all these, do we just run year-long leagues in different communities with different rank caps? But it seems like such a faff that I think at a certain point you've got to accept that it's an amateur, not even an amateur tournament, it's a Goon tournament. They all are. All the community tournaments that go on are Goon tournaments.
Yeah.
By different names. So you've got to have a cap. I guess the issue is where you put that. I mean, I guess again, dragging us back to this year. What's been the best bit of running this year's tournament? What's been the, you know, do you enjoy that? I know you enjoy the spreadsheets. So excluding the spreadsheets, what's been the highlight? What's the most fun?
I honestly think it's been great. Everyone's doing the community cast. Everyone's like chilling together, playing together. If you look in the Flax Squad in general, there's so much more like activity going on. Everyone's chilling and hanging out. It's great stuff. Like, honestly, I think this is probably the most lively that like the general server like gets, because everyone's just sort of hanging about, talking about Goon TI, like supporting each other as well. Like with the community cast and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just so good, like having people who are into like the casting, just going through everything. I don't know. It's been great.
I mean, I've said myself,
really, really
I started casting Group 4 games because there was one player who I knew and was friends with, and I went, I'll cast his games. Why not? That's the only place I really have a huge interest for casting. And from that, I then have grown to just like all of the Group 4 teams that still remain in the tournament. And I feel like I've now just got an investment across the board going into the main stage. I mean, an investment I can't keep up with at this point. There's too much Dota.
And I would hope as well, for all the things that I've either accidentally or intentionally changed, like getting more of the community involved, I'm hoping has been something that people have noticed or felt, at least. I mean, from my perspective, like as a player compared to last year, it feels like it. But
are there more casters this year? I was involved in the casting last year, so I don't know. But it feels like being part of it. It feels like there's so many people wanting to cast, and it also feels 100%. Like everybody's getting the chance to as well, which is nice. I think there's a couple of people wanting to co-cast that maybe haven't had the opportunity yet. So any casters out there, maybe pick them up. I'm guilty of that as well, of wanting to cast with familiar people. But I think there is an idea of wanting to cast with familiar people. So anyone wanting to co-cast who hasn't yet, go play some Dota with people. I think that's the best way to do it.
Get
you
familiar.
Got it. Yeah, sure. go make some friends, and then everyone will cast with you. You may not want to talk about this, so I will give you the opportunity to say absolutely no comment. You know what's coming. All the drama from a mod perspective on Team Solid.
Unironically, it was exhausting.
I'm sure it was. I mean, so I mean, we haven't had a chance to talk about this, so I will take the last chance of the stream to talk about it. This is going to be from just a general perspective, journalistic integrity. I have my sources. Possible dodgy comments from Rob, possibly backed by Weebs, aimed at Eagle, but Eagle having made a lot of like questionable comments already. Well, not questionable comments, but I find the Eagle can sometimes be difficult to play with, but so can a lot of people, so that is what it is. I think going into the tournament, I felt, and I talked to a lot of people, felt that that was a team that was maybe not going to work out. I don't know if anybody else. I don't know how many other people maybe saw that coming.
I think all I will say from our perspective and my perspective is, if you're having issues in your team where you feel like lines are being crossed, just speak up. Just send us a DM, raise a ticket, just talk to us, just let us know, and we can sort it.
Where's the line on that? If it's happening, if it's happening in a Dota game, is it if it's only in the Flax Discord or?
Ultimately, if something's crossing a line, then you just let us know, and we'll tell you whether it's our jurisdiction or not. If we tell you, I'm really sorry, that feels like it's like between you and your friend or whatever, then that's it.
I think at the end of the day, it is. I mean, I don't know if is there an age limit on the Flax Discord?
I don't think so. I don't think.
Okay, well, I won't say it's between adults, but I think, yeah, if it's on the internet, it's between you and a friend. I think it's fair enough to say, like, you guys deal with that yourselves. You don't want to play with that person anymore, don't play with them.
And I think that's also a really good tip is, if unironically someone is absolutely winding you up and there's shit being said in a voice call, feel free to let us know, but also just don't play with them. Like, if they're really that not fun to play with, just...
I'll say it myself. I've like unfriended people before. I've been playing with people on games. This is when I was like 14 to 18, sort of that age, and I've gone, I'm not having fun with you anymore. Why am I playing with you? You're kind of an ass. I think it's right. Just go play with different people.
People will know. I literally have I'm terrible at remembering people's names, but what would used to happen is I'd go into into a stack and then be like, oh my fucking god, it's this guy. How did I forget this guy's name? Blah 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 blah. I had to write myself a Dota shit list of people who
I know multiple people who have lists of people they won't play with. I have my own list. It's in my head, to be fair. It's not long enough to need writing down, but I've gone back on that list multiple times and I have regretted it. I have played with someone again and gone, nope, this was a mistake. Why did I do it?
Exactly.
I think you got to find your people to an extent, don't you? You got to find the people who want the same thing out of a game as you do.
And ultimately, I think everybody is different in terms of what they think is fine, what they think is like a happy game of Dota, what they think is an unfun game of Dota. So ultimately, you just got to do what's right for yourself. And the whole point of this, all of this, is to have fun. At the end of the day, that's the point.
Definitely.
So I know there's a lot of teams who, I mean, we heard like Sus talking about earlier, they really couldn't give a fuck. That's great. I'm more than happy to hear it because it means, no one's going to get too upset about anything. But ultimately, the whole point of this is to have fun. So if you find yourself wanting to win and sacrificing having fun for it, maybe just like reconsider.
Maybe this isn't the tournament for you. I think it is at least my sentiment is, if you're not here for fun, if you're having a shit time, tell your team, hey guys, I'm not having a good time here. Maybe I don't want to play anymore. And that's fine. Yeah. I think we've seen a couple of people do that. We've had a weird transfer window and I think that's okay.
I think the transfer window is hilarious that like multiple teams.
It's happened by accident.
Can we just shuffle some stuff around? I'm like, yeah, I honestly don't care.
But can you imagine if we had a franchise and the franchises had a transfer window where they went this, and it's also a good opportunity to go this, like, you could turn around to your manager and go, I'm not gelling with this team. Can you transfer me? Exactly. Like put me up for transfer. Yes. Like, can you imagine?
Huge, dude. Unironically, that sounds really good. All of this was a little bit last minute. That like I just was like, okay, we'll just do a GTI after. I'm sure.
Oh no, that's perfectly fair.
But
I was impressed the Goonternational showed up. I decided it wasn't coming when it didn't come at the start of September.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing definitely we'll announce some good dates in advance and try and actually like plan some stuff. Whether we do you guys, don't be too disappointed if the NFL draft doesn't happen. But if it does, we'll have like.
I'm fully expecting it to not happen. So everything, if it happens, it's all gravy.
Okay, good.
Just quickly, lastly, I guess elimination round not happening seemed like it caused a bit of a disturbance. Was it somewhat of a benefit, I guess? Was it somewhat of a relief that we didn't have to run this mini tournament to find out which team got kicked out without making it to main stage? It's
honestly,
nice that
like,
everybody goes to main stage. Like it just is.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Because like on one hand, I was like, oh, we don't have to do those games. That's like kind of good. We can kind of get on with it. At the same time, I think it could have been good fun. I think they could have been hype, like fun casts as well. So there is usually elimination. Probably were I to have had a perfect like foresight, maybe we could have had an elimination in each group, and then make a small main stage. Blah blah blah. I don't know.
I think it's nice that everybody goes to main stage. I
think
like.
so.
It's nice that it's for seeding and everybody still gets that opportunity. And I'm still waiting for that team to make that fucking amazing lower bracket run.
I'm hyped for it as well.
I'm actually gutted. I said last night after our game, I said to the guys, I said, "Fuck, we've ruined our lower bracket run."
Yeah, well, what happened to that? Oh my god, yeah, you're gonna have to make sure you don't get lose to the next team.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to our next game. It's either sit out, in which we have to play against Seething, who is like such a good lad for standing in for us, or we have to play against OGs, which I just sound like I've just heard is hell. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's been fun. I think.
You sound incredibly positive about it for someone who I think should be incredibly stressed.
What can I say? Just fantastic at masking as well. They're running the lobbies, the spreadsheet, the tracking, all of that's fine. I've already got like this for the spreadsheet like all set up so that as soon as I input who won this game and this game and this game, then it just automatically like says, oh, okay, so this person is going to be in this game, this person's going to be in this game. I don't have to do anything. It's like hands off.
Are you selling this spreadsheet? Is it available to get anywhere for other people running? Are your services available? Like, if I wanted to run a tournament, like,
unironically, yes, 100%.
Can I pay you in time on spreadsheets? Like, is that your payment?
I think it might be. I'm very sad. I'm very sad. Honestly, if anyone wants the spreadsheet, they're more than welcome to it. No holds barred. But yeah, not for sale. At the moment.
No. I may just take you up on that and give you some spreadsheets to work on. Well, thank you very much for joining me, GDoe.
Yeah, I've got a lobby to run, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be ending the stream here and sending everyone over to Toffee to watch the wonderful game of LLL Cubed versus Granny's Cookies. I got it right at the last second there in the sentence. I remembered. I got to send you over to Webbanana. He's been such a great lad tonight. Co-founder of Top Goon, I guess. Also, special credit to Amos. He was wanting to be involved so badly, and he was in the conception, but he was scuppered by work, unfortunately.
Oh,
but
that sucks.
Thank you very much, GDoe, for joining us. Unfortunately, we did miss a couple of segments, mainly just the clips. I will involve the clips in a stream at some point in the future. Next cast I do, we'll do some clips beforehand, and we will go through all that. We'll have a mini Top Goon before the stream next time. But until then, I've been Falcus. Webbanana is gone. He's in the title. Go follow him on Twitch. He's been doing some Goonternational streams plus some other streams, so go check him out. If you are a high-value Goon, please jump into my Dota games. And otherwise, feel free to drop a follow. GDoe, do you want to plug anything?
Nah. Hold on. Wait. One sec. I can plug something.
Just watch the Goonternational. I mean, in the meantime, if you enjoyed this Fry Guys production, the Discord is in the chat now. Also linked down below. If you want to play Dota with me, that's where I am most of the time. To be fair, I haven't plugged it in any of my Goonternational streams, but this is a Fry Guys production. I get to plug it.
Does that link come up?
You can't send links. Send me the link. I'll post it.
I'll send you the link. This is my plug. My plug is that my organizational credentials come from organizing this horrible project.
My girlfriend will like this if it's cross stitching.
Yes, where I'm currently collecting 400 individually stitched pieces of fabric from people all over the world, and we're gonna like assemble it into one massive canvas at the end, like three meters by 3 meters huge. So that's where my credentials
who gets to keep it? Whose bed's that ending up on?
Unironically, we're probably gonna give it to Reddit.
Oh no, you can't just give it to Reddit in general. Reddit ruins things.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna force them to promise to like put it in their lobby. Like,
I guess if you're giving it to Reddit as a company, that's maybe okay. I feel like Reddit's oblivious to the ruining that goes on most of their website. Reddit is the best of us and the worst of us all in one place. Is what I would say. Right. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to GDoe for coming by. Thank you to all of our guests tonight. Ware Banana for hosting with me. Ninjasnowman for coming to talk about Stesies. Dr. Jonas for coming to talk about all things Goonternational. And shout out to our exhibition players, Supes and Bird. Congratulations to Bird on the win. And commiserations to Supes. But until next time, this has been Top Goon. And yeah, I will be sending you elsewhere now if you go on the raid.
Hell yeah.
Thank you very much and good night.
Bye.